Yo, yo, yo. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Who will be the first one to the live? My money is on Karibo or Nirvana, aka Igno, aka Ig. But if it's not either one of those two, it's going to be Kai. Let's see who's first. Alright. Yo, yo, yo. Check, check, check. 1, oh, 2. Shit. Hold up. Alright. So, wait. Hey, Kai, were you in here, Karibo in here, or Shinigami first? Which one of y'all was first? To answer your question, Kakashi needs... Yes. Why your upper lip look like you hit a line of coke? Does it? It's probably the Blitzdex. That's funny as shit, though. Probably the Blitzdex, though. Alright. Good people of the Ab-Stract section. We're here today because Kakashi really needs your guys' help. He does. The more research I am doing for this battle, the harder and harder it is to go forward with this battle, because every time I start to do the scaling for Bleach, I think about the impending scaling I have to do for Naruto, and I am scrambling to find ways that Kakashi can compete. I don't know what he's going to do. I'm actually getting discouraged from even doing the battle, but at this point I've already come too far. So it has to get done. But now it's a matter of, okay, it's a matter of how bad does Toshiro beat Kakashi exactly. That's kind of what it's coming to. Alright, let's catch up on the chat before we get started into reading. We're just going to go over a few of Kakashi's stuff in the war arc, and then we're going to get to his perfect Susanoo and fake Uchiha eyes and ass pulls beyond the grave and all that other good stuff. Make sure to like the stream if you're not already. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure your notifications are on. Yo, bro. What's good, Shinigami? Continuing the drawing I'm making. Look at Discord. Hope I'm cooking. I'm going to check Discord right after this. I got you, bro. Sup, Shinigami? Oh, and does Kakashi need help in stats or hacks? Kakashi needs help in every regard possible. He needs, well, first off, he'll need help in speed. We need a solid speed feat for Kakashi. One that does not include data books, one that does not include making chakra-based lightning, IRL lightning, and one that does not include the whole lightning, intercepted lightning, he cut lightning, because we already went over that. We already determined that's kind of unusable. So he needs a solid feat, or find me someone that Kakashi scales to in speed, like definitively. Like, give me a speed feat of that person, and then if Kakashi can scale to that person. Yeah. Let me keep going. Yo, Kai. Going to listen to Ab-Stract Gap whilst I draw. Nice. Hi. What's good, Karibo? How are you? To answer your question, Kakashi needs... Yes. Why are you up a look? I already read that. Hey, what's good, Michael? How are you? I was here before everyone and left the first like. My man. Let's go, Kai. What up, Trip? I talked to Stein about a collab with you if you game. You talked to Stein on my behalf, Red? Hey, yo, I appreciate that, bro. That's what's up. That's dope. That's what's up. I appreciate that. He can get my student card with student benefits. I think me and Kai arrived in similar times. That's dope. That's dope. But didn't know if I could type already. Kakashi really needs our help. I never would have imagined that. Forget stats. Who deals with emotional damage better between Kakashi or Toshiro? Kakashi. Easily. Easily Kakashi. That one is 3-0 Kakashi. Right? Emotional damage. Kakashi killed his own best friend, and then he had to fight his other best friend who we thought was dead. He didn't want to fight him, but he ended up fighting him to save his student, Naruto. Right? Who else did Kakashi? He lost his father at a young age, very young age. Got mistaken for his father and attacked because of it. Right? Lost his sense. He lost his entire squad. And Kakashi ain't bitch about that one time. Kakashi definitely handles trauma more better than Toshiro. But then again, Toshiro's a child. But that's no excuse because Kakashi was a child too. So, it's Kakashi. It's all day Kakashi. He handles trauma way better than Toshiro. But that's a funny question. Kakashi has the corn from Jiraiya. Kakashi has the corn from Jiraiya? I don't know what you mean by that, Shinigami. Putting Kakashi against Shuhei would have been better for him. Hell, going against Momo would have been more fair than Toshiro. Yeah, that's my fault. See? Like, someone in the Discord asked me today. Actually, a new person that joined our Discord, Michael, asked me today. He's like, yo, Ab-Stract, do you think you're going to, like, kind of revolutionize the scaling community with this video? And I thought about it, and I had a laugh initially, because I'm like, well, no, I don't think I'm going to, like, revolutionize the scaling community when this video does come out. And then I was just thinking to myself, like, kind of like the Ikkaku video, I was trolled into making this video. Like, once again, guys, we can thank Kuribo for Kakashi versus Toshiro. Because me and him be going back and forth on Twitter so much, man. I'm like, hey, yo, fuck it. I'm going to just make a video. I'm done. I'm going to make a video about it. And so that's how we kind of got Kakashi versus Toshiro. So that goes for all you guys, too. If you want me to do a specific versus battle video, just talk shit enough to me about it to where I'm like, all right, I got to make a video. Because I'm not about to let this disrespect slide. I ain't about to let you say X, Y, and Z and all this other stuff. So yeah, we can thank Kuribo for this one again. What am I? A miracle maker? LOL. What about Madara and Edo controlled by Kabuto reacting to Tsunade and A moving at light speed via the teleporter? What about Madara and the Edo controlled by Kabuto reacting to Tsunade and A moving at light speed via the teleporter? Yeah, that has been covered. Can I get the Discord link? Mugetsu. Here's how I feel. Well, sure. I will send you the Discord link on Discord. Sure, why not? I don't mind. We can do that. I'll send it to you, bro. Shinigami, as far as your thing with the whole Madara and Mu reacting to Tsunade and A coming out of the teleporter. So for that one, yes, Mabui moves them at light speed, but the actual light of the attack is already behind Madara and Mu before Raikage and Tsunade actually attack, right? So that means they arrived at light speed, but they were not moving in transit at light speed when they arrived. Because, like I said, the light from the attack was actually already past them. So if that was them, that's one thing. If they showed with the light, that would be one thing. But the light comes first, and then it's a whole nother panel, and then they come. So it's like, no, they're not moving light speed with the attack. I don't see any win conditions for Toshiro. Kakashi takes him apart before Toshiro goes Bankai. Oh my god, man. Kuribo, you got heart, man. You got heart. I'll say that. How about Kakashi's perception blitzing Sakura, Sasuke, and Naruto, then throwing them to the water tank? We're not going to go the part 1 of Naruto to scale Kakashi. Not doing it. Kakashi, you can get the N-word pass for 10 seconds before Toshiro kill you. Make sure you use it wisely. Yours truly, Highness Zoro. That's a fire name. I like that. Alright, I ain't messaged you in a while, so I'm gonna just remind you. Hey, bro, I know who you are. I got you, Moo. Wait. Zach's Lives Matter 1999? That ain't you. Hold up. Wait. Zach's Lives Matter. Let me check this real quick. Let me see. This is JJ. I already have Espadas. Oh yeah, I have to read that doc that Espada sent me about the whatchamacallit. I gotta read that. I forgot about that. Hey, you know what, Mugetsu? Message me again. Let me make sure. Yeah, actually message me again. But alright. Cool. So we're on a mission, still trying to figure out what this Kakashi guy is capable of. Let's go to my notes to see exactly where we are. So I already did Kakashi versus Pain. 484. Sasuke versus Kakashi. 484. Oh no. Alright. 484. Yeah, guys. Kakashi needs your help. Find me some good speed feats for him so I can, like, give him a fighting chance. Kuribo, give me a good speed feat outside of the data book, outside of the potentially cutting lightning, even though we don't know how it happened, and outside of chakra-based things being the real thing. Give me a solid feat or someone that he would scale to so we can do that. Alright, cool. Put away that eye. Inferior Shinobi, you're not Uchiha. Sasuke runs at him. Now, it's important to note that Sasuke literally just got done fighting Danzo, so it's really hard to gauge if he's tired or not. I would presume he is, though. He used Amaterasu, he used Susanoo, he used Genjutsu a lot, he used Chidori. I would presume he's very tired after this. So Naruto's coming with Sage Mode. I could figure out the answer. So he stops running at Kakashi. So he's dashing at Kakashi. He stops running to form his Susanoo, make his bow and arrow thingy. Kakashi perceives this, has his Sharingan active, and then the water is splashing. Kakashi is in the shadow of the water. So fast. If I hadn't blown it away with the Mangekyo, I would have been done in for sure. So this sucks because, like, not their feet or anything, but it sucks because we don't know how fast. We don't know how fast Sasuke's arrows are. And Danzo wasn't really the best metric because Danzo's not a speedy character himself. Yes, he was able to avoid it with Hashirama cells and becoming a tree kind of. But we don't know how fast these arrows are. We know it's too fast for Kakashi, though. But unless we kind of backscale from Kakashi intercepting the lightning, which I think we had him at Mach 11 for that, we would just say this is some X above Mach 11. Because he hasn't really indicated he's gotten stronger since the Kakuzu fight, honestly. Yeah, because after the Kakuzu fight, he dies the pain, and then this is literally the next encounter for him. So, Sasuke's arrows are probably a blitz tier ahead of Kakashi. If he was forced to use his Mangekyo Sharingan, they'd probably be a blitz tier ahead of him. But not so fast that he can't perceive. So, probably on a high end, probably 5 times faster than his own speed. Because if it was just 2 times faster, he should be able to at least dodge to the left or to the right, or maybe even react a little bit, sidestep it. But if he can't move at all, and he's forced to use his Mangekyo, I think I'm comfortable saying it's at least 5 times faster than he can react himself. Yeah, he asked for similar small creators, and I thought of the most biased Bleach fan I could think of. Let me know, because it could be you, Stein, and Eon. You know what? That'd be dope. Me, Stein, and Eon. That'd be dope. I'd like that collab. You know what, Red? I appreciate that, bro. You know what? If you don't mind, good brother, please be the bridge between us creators. I wouldn't mind that. Because, honestly, they are the 2 biggest... Hold up. Got you, bitch. Sorry about that. Yeah. So Stein and Eon are the 2 biggest... excuse me. Stein and Eon are the 2 biggest One Piece scalers. That I know of. There might be someone bigger, but I only know of them 2 really. And from my perspective, they're pretty honest in their scaling. That's what I do like about both of them. Like I said in one of my other videos, when Stein came on the scene, man, he was kind of fucking shit up. Yo, like he had some heat for the Naruto verse. It was not good. And then Eon was kind of the same way, where he was like, you could tell Eon was really himself, and he really like took time out to understand what he was going to do before he started scaling. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't mind talking or collabing slash even just going live, because I was actually talking to Igneo. Igneo wants to do a live too, but he also wanted to do a video. And I'm like, at this time, video making for me personally is just gonna be really slow, because I am studying for my Security Plus, and all of that time really goes in on the weekday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm studying for my Security Plus. Hard as shit. That's why you guys didn't see me live last week until Friday, because I was like literally just putting in those hours. So yeah, a live screen collab or even a Zoom thing, that'd be fun as shit, honestly. So yeah, we could do that. The Corn novel. I have no idea what the Corn novel is, Shinigami. I don't see anyone. Alright, I ain't messaged you in a while, so I'm gonna just remind you. Oh yeah, Mugetsu definitely messaged me on Discord. How about the Sharingan reacting to Kitten? Kakashi could upscale from that Sekitachi. He could. And so here's the thing. Like when you say react, and I don't want to like play semantics with the word. Susanoo, it doesn't take any movement to activate Susanoo. It's more of a thought-based thing. And even with Kakashi changing his regular Sharingan to the Mangekyo Sharingan, that does take time, yes, but it's not like it's not like he's moving, and all this like this helps for his reaction speed, yes, but imagine if Kakashi had to contend with the same arrow coming at him from 5 different ways and it's not stopping, because that's what a Bleach fighter, that's what Toshiro would be doing. He would be hitting Kakashi from 5 different angles, exactly like how that arrow came. And Kakashi would have to be fighting the speed of that arrow times like 500, bro. So, yeah. Karibo makes it. Let me read. Side note: been going back over the CP9 fights to see if their base combat speed scales to Soryu. So far, Blue Nose does. Khalifa and Fukuru are more situational. Who is Zoro? Did you mean Zoro, bro? Did you mean Zoro? Also, you know what, Michael? I think after this Toshiro versus Kakashi business, I think I want to tackle, could Luffy and his gang, how far would they get in Soul Society arc? Or would they clear Soul Society arc? And I think I want to do, how far would Luffy get in Naruto first arc, and how far would Ichigo get in One Piece first arc? I think I want to do something like that. I think that'll be really fun. It'll kind of take away from the same old type of stuff. I think that'll be a fun one, and I think I can do that one relatively fast because I don't have to scale every single thing. I just kind of have to like give mid balls, low balls, high balls, and minimums based off of the visual feats. So I think that'll be fun too. By the way, you seen the craziness going on in Cali? Man, we have craziness going all over the world, man. I hope y'all being safe, bro. We got Iran attacking. We got Israel attacking Iran. We have the protest in Cali with this whole Trump and immigration stuff. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on, man. Very crazy. That potentially could help him, Shinigami. But Itachi was the one that reacted. Kakashi's reactions don't compare to Itachi's. And that's true, too. Actually, what's your Discord? I'll get you in Stein Discord so you guys can talk about the collab. He's looking for weekly streams if possible with small creators. Weekly streams? That's dope, because I already stream weekly. So I don't mind. We could do that. Alright, cool. Yeah. Let me put my Discord in here real quick. Oh, Zach, you're Mugetsu. Did you change your profile, bro? No, you didn't. Yeah, got you. What's good, bro? Give me a second. Alright, Ab-Stract. Ab-Stract 1570. 1570. There we go. Alright. Let me catch up real quick. You can argue Kakashi could upscale from that extremely sick Itachi. Ooh! You could, because Itachi was extremely sick and fatigued at that time. So we would presume that a full power Kakashi would be at least as strong as that Itachi, right? At the very least, he should be able to be. He should be able to react to that. So, but like, here's my reservations about Kitten. Number one, Sasuke was yapping the entire time he was prepping Kitten. Number two, a big ass lightning dragon formed that you could visually see, right? Number three, there's the obvious aim dodging of the big ass fucking lightning dragon coming at me. So it's not like I don't know it's coming, right? So it just kind of makes it hard to use. Because it's like, all right, you either have something to deal with it or you don't. You're either fast enough to move or you're not. Here's the thing. If Itachi wasn't fast enough to move, Kakashi damn sure wouldn't be. So the reaction really doesn't help us because Itachi had all the time in the world to prep for Kitten with his Susanoo. He clearly saw it. If it was a surprise attack or if it was something that Sasuke didn't blab on about being natural lightning and not being able to dodge it and all this other stuff, then it'd be a little different. But having a foreknowledge of Kitten doesn't really help us. Is that the Susanoo? I can't believe not Uchiha. I can't believe it. Not Uchiha, but achieved. I can't believe it. Oh, there's something wrong with this translation, guys. He said, I can't believe it. I'm guessing he meant to say a non-Uchiha. I don't know what the fuck he's saying, actually. I'm just going to skip it. Alright, anyways. Sasuke goes rage mode. This is bad. Drops the stage to Susanoo. My sight. Cool. We got Sakura. Sakura, why did you come? Don't. I will not let Master Kakashi bear the burden. And she can't bring her. By the way, she could have killed. Well, never mind. Sakura could have killed Sasuke right here, and the story would have been pretty much over. Anyways, Sakura, he is choked. Kakashi's not fast enough to intercept Sasuke, so if I remember correctly, right, Naruto saves her while getting scratched. Kakashi goes for a punch on Sasuke while he's not looking. Sasuke does block the punch. And if I remember, that ends that conversation, that confrontation. So what we got from that was Kakashi can't react to things like Sasuke's arrows. But this still doesn't really help with the definitive speed. It tells us he can process. So here's the thing. Kakashi can, with his Mangekyo at least, he can process things at least 5 times his speed. Right? Because this is me saying if he couldn't move at all, if he couldn't dodge, move his head, move to the left, move to the right, or anything like that, but he could activate his ability, that thing must have been at least moving 5 times faster than him if he couldn't do anything but turn his eye a different Tomoe or a different Mangekyo, whatever. So he can perceive things that are 5 times his speed, but he can't really react to them. Boy, oh boy, not looking good for Kakashi. That potentially could help him, Shinigami, but Itachi... Oh yeah, I already read that. Cool. I don't think you can make a case for Pain fight, but you can for War Arc. Yeah, no, I tried with Pain. I looked at everything with Pain. I couldn't really make a case for Kane. Hey, what's good, Grid? How you doing? We still talking about Kakashi. We're still trying to get him feats. We're trying to get Kakashi speed feats. That's what I really need from him. The durability conversation isn't going to go well for him either. But, I mean, that's kind of expected with Naruto. The AP conversation is going to be interesting. The AP conversation is going to be interesting. Also, guys, I've changed my mind on something. I will not be I will not be doing 3 versions of the fight. There's just literally no reason to. Honestly, Fate Katakura Town arc Toshiro pretty much just outscales every version of Kakashi. I'm not gonna lie. He outscales every version of Kakashi up until we get into the war even. But the war is really just going to be adult Toshiro versus DMS Kakashi. So I'm not going to be doing Fate Katakura Town, 1,000-Year Blood War / Fullbring Toshiro versus War Arc and early Shippuden Kakashi. It's just going to be one version of each, and then we'll do the 1,000-Year Blood War versions versus the War Arc version. Because Kakashi doesn't have enough, bro. He just doesn't have enough. He was having an even taijutsu exchange with Hidan, canonically the slowest member of the Akatsuki, so... Oh, in this feat, Kakashi can summon Kamui to shoot away the arrow. Right. Hey, what's good, Jax? How you doing? Like, Sasuke was going blind extremely fast once he got his Mangekyo due to spamming. Yeah, Sasuke went blind the fastest. Weirdly enough, he went blind the fastest. Danzo generally fights on par with Sasuke physically, and the Susanoo arrow blitzes him, so a blitz tier above wherever you have Sasuke at. Are you talking about the arrows grid, or are you talking about where? Let me read it again. Danzo generally fights on par with Sasuke physically, and the Susanoo arrow blitzes him, so a blitz tier above wherever you have Sasuke at. Yeah, again, are you talking about the arrows? Because I got the arrows. Yeah, I believe the arrows are at least 5 times Kakashi's speed, just based on the fact that he can't do anything but change his Sharingan to a Mangekyo and get rid of it that way. If Kamui is frozen with Shik... Oh, Mugetsu, I was thinking about that. I'm not going to lie. I was thinking about if he did use a Kamui, and he tried the Kamui Toshiro, and Toshiro froze the space surrounding him. Number 1, that would obstruct Kakashi's vision, making him a non-target of Kamui. That's number 1. But number 2, would it stop this space from forming around Toshiro? Would that stop it? Do we think it'll stop it? What do you guys think about that? If Toshiro freezes the air around him while Kamui is being activated, would that stop Kamui? Thank you, Mugetsu. Hey, yo, we right here, bro. We right here. The 5 Kage react to the meteors dropped by the fragments of the moon in the last. I wouldn't do that, and I wouldn't do the meteor stuff. Number 1, and I'm not using movies to scale anything. Mugetsu, it'd get power nulled, so it should stop. So, but Grid, let me ask you this: Do you think he can just be in regular Bankai or even Shikai and just freeze the air around him, and will that have an effect on the space that is being warped? Because I was thinking about that. Surely Toshiro can freeze... Oh, I gotta start reading the names. Mugetsu says, surely Toshiro can freeze whether or not he power nulls what he freezes. Oh, surely Toshiro can freeze whether or not he power nulls what he freezes. Okay, I got you. Mugetsu says again, he the one making the ice after all, so realistically speaking, he should be able to control the properties of it. True. Red Hair says, security plus is easy. I heard the hardest is actually A plus. Nah, what, bro? Hold up. Nah, the A plus should just be basic peripherals, troubleshooting, and standard stuff. The A plus should be the easiest. The security... So I'll say this right now, bro. The security plus, at least from where I'm at in my studying, it's really just a lot of acronyms and learning what those acronyms mean and how they relate to the other acronyms and what they mean. There hasn't been a lot of hands-on lab stuff in this course that I'm taking, because I'm doing a Udemy course. There hasn't been a lot of hands-on lab stuff, but most of it, like 90% of it is just definitions, acronyms, and security stuff as far as like concepts. Soru is shave, their high speed movement. Oh, okay. Soru is shave. Okay, let me go back to your other comment then, Michael. Let me read that. Side note, been going back over the CP9 fights to see if their base combat speed scales to Soro. So far, Blue Notes does. Caliphate and Fukudo are more situational. If their base combat speed scale to shave. All right, so let me ask you this, Michael, and you can probably send me some stuff on Discord too. how are you determining if their base speed scales to shave? How would you be determining that? Because from what I'm watching, and mind you, I haven't read any of the manga for One Piece yet because I'm still enjoying watching it, right? From what I'm watching, at least, like I kind of told you last stream, none of the Straw Hats except for Luffy are on par physically in terms of speed with none of the CP9 agents. Not a single one of them can keep up with their shave at all. So my question would be, if it is the case that their highest or their best feats come from shave, when they're not using shave, how would we be determining that they're moving at the level of their shave? That'd be my question. Depends on which version of the Straw Hat Gang you're using. Oh, yeah, you're right. So what I would probably do is I would probably take the first 100 chapters from each series, and depending on where we land at, I'll either be like, okay, cool, let's give Bleach maybe 10 more chapters because they're not really past the Soul Society arc or whatever. Let's give let's give Naruto, let's take away 20 chapters for Naruto because that's way out of scope. That's on Shippuden. And for One Piece, it's like, all right, 100 chapters, they could be anywhere. I don't even know where 100 chapters would be in One Piece. I don't know if it's Skypiea. I don't know if it's Whiskey Peak. I don't know where it is. But that's kind of how I would do it. I would do it like first 100 chapters. Okay, who are the major villains? And, kind of like that. Also do it. Luffy busting into Soul Society would be hilarious. What if? Yeah, no, it'd be fire. It'd be fire. You know what? Actually... if we do end up doing a collab, like if I do ever collab with like Eon and whatnot, I would want him to do that video because he has a really good way of making those videos really funny, number one, but also really in character for how things would go. And he like would know how Luffy would act and what he would do. And me rewatching the series, I'm learning Luffy again and how he acts and what he would do. Like as much as Zoro would want to fight Kenpachi, Luffy's instincts always draw him to the biggest threat at the time. So Luffy would definitely fight Kenpachi. Zoro would have to fight like Ikkaku. Depending on where the scaling lands right there, he might even lose or win to Ikkaku, and then he would fight Renji. And then that would go how that goes. But Luffy would absolutely be fighting Kenpachi. But it'd be fun, man. Yeah, it'd be fun. Toshiro fights VS... strategizing. I thought that said stargazing, bro. I couldn't read for a minute. Toshiro fights via strategizing. This is Mugetsu, by the way. Toshiro fights via strategizing how to stop his enemy in their tracks. If Toshiro realizes Kakashi has eyeball powers, couldn't he just freeze the liquid in his eyeballs? No, I wouldn't give him that. It's a very it's not like I wouldn't give him that. It's not consistent in how he fights. It's not consistent in how he fights. I wouldn't do that. That's kind of like plugging a controller up his ass. I'd want to stick to things that he's actually done. All right, 521 is Kakashi versus the Mist Ninja. Everybody wants to be my friend. Oh, you did change your PFP. Ah, that's what it was. Okay, I didn't. So like, I thought you did, but I was like, it's been a while since we like actually said anything to each other. I was like, all right, maybe. But you did change your PFP. That makes sense. He would, to be honest. My new PFP is Badam Bridge from Chainsaw Man. I'm gonna save you some wank trouble trip. Ichigo makes it to end of series One Piece and Naruto. Red says, I'm gonna save you some wank trip. Ichigo makes it to end of series One Piece and Naruto and clears fiction with drip alone. You are a Bleach scaler after my own heart. That's exactly how I would do it too. Because how are you going to beat Drip Lord Kurosaki? You can't do it. Damn, they really fucked Zabuza up. Look. Anyways. Alright, let me zoom in. And let me fix my, I feel like my face is big on here. Let me tone me down a little bit. Everybody wants to be my friend. Where do all these ads come from, bro? Alright, there we go. Much better. Okay. So Haku crystallized mirrors them, dashing at them, intercepted by Lee, Guy, and Kakashi. Cool. Alright, their consciousness is being taken over. Prepare yourselves. Don't let down your guard. He's unparalleled at silent killing. Okay. So Kakashi needs his Sharingan to deal with the likes of Zabuza. I don't know how I feel about that. Mind you, Zabuza hasn't even performed a hit and miss yet. Like, we know he will. But the very fact that he uses his Sharingan for the likes of Zabuza and Haku. He has a whole company behind him, too. It's okay. Assemble battle groups with sensory type ninja at the center. The other members cover 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock positions in standard Maichi formation. Zabuza can pinpoint any target's location based on sound alone. Alright. Oh, I need my water. That's right. Everybody wants to be my friend. Shout out my man Robert in the chat. Funny story about Robert. I met him at a, I think it was Dillard's. I think we met Robert. And we just had a very wholesome conversation. Kind of like a very fortuitous conversation. It was very interesting. Good guy. I need those raps, Robert. I need them songs. All right, I'm on your head. I need them songs, bro. All right. Shout out to Robert. Oh, by the way, Robert is third party opinion with the Morpheus. Is that Morpheus? That is Morpheus. Robert is Morpheus, by the way, guys. Alright. Ha. See, I'm a miracle worker. Yeah, sure. But the Sharingan still needs to process. Fun idea for a short vid. Top 10 favorite anti-feats you've seen in fiction. Top 10 favorite anti-feats. That's a weird video. Top 10 anti-feats. Top 10 anti-feats. Top 10 anti-feats. Amaterasu. Oh boy. Amaterasu is up there at number 1. And then it probably just becomes some randomness after that. Punk ass Sakura trying to act as if she's important. Oh yeah, punching Kaguya. Yeah, punching Kaguya. Because depending on how you take it, Sakura is either universal with that or she's very basic, large building to mountain level. I can't remember where he had her. But yeah. Ab-Stract, are you caught up with the Chainsaw Man manga? No. I'm not into Chainsaw Man enough to read it. I did enjoy the anime though. I never read / watched this. Strictly here for your boy. That's what's up. I appreciate you, Robert. Because Toshiro's Bankai at first doesn't increase in power and speed, only quantity in ice quantity. Plus, we still got the fact those pedals need to go away. So, here's the thing about Bankai. Here's the thing about spirit energy in general. When you're releasing more, although the series will go out its way to say, like, oh, Ikkaku's Bankai doesn't increase his speed, his Kido, and all this other stuff. A rise in reiatsu is a rise in stats. And that's exactly what happens when you perform Bankai. Now, this is where you put your power scaler hats on, and you put the narrative to the side. Because anytime, well, mostly when a bankai is performed, you will see a increase in the user's performance. It might not be so dramatic as a 10 times amp like, or I mean a 5 times amp like Ichigo's mask, right? But how will I say this? For example, Eterard versus Ikaku is a very good example. When Eterard transformed and went Volcanica, and he was dogging Ikaku, when Ikaku went Bankai, he was not only able to injure Eterard because of the increased power, but he was also able to match him in speed and attack speed. He was able to match him in attack speed and reaction, all that stuff. All that went up. But the series isn't going to tell you that stuff went up, right? That's where you put your power scaler hat on and say, well, okay, we know that a rise in reiatsu equates to a rise in stats. And I'm not saying this happens, well, I guess I pseudo am saying it does happen across the board, so to speak. But it's like, it's something that you just kind of gotta like account for. Like, I wouldn't say Toshiro doesn't get stronger when he uses his Bankai, because it's a rise in reiatsu. What if I told you, Mugetsu says, Ab-Stract, what if I told you there's a feat that puts Soul Society Arc Shikai Toshiro at mountain level? I think I know the feat you're talking about. I think I've seen it before. Is that the one where he's fighting Gin and he conjures the storm? If it's that one, or, he conjures the, he uses Hiranmaru and it, changes the weather. And I think that was calced to around mountain level. But the thing about that one is it would be in total joules, not AP. So it's nice though. It's nice. He can obstruct Kamui's targeting process, but not the actual spatial distortion without spatial manipulation resistance. Okay, gotcha. Why not the meteor? If I remember, well, what was the question for the meteor again? Let me go back and read it. Yeah, you said the 5 Kage react to the meteors dropped by the fragments of the moon in the last. Yeah, so number one, it's a movie feat. That's a big problem. Number one. Number two, so many things were wrong with that movie. I don't even consider that movie, aside from the feat of Toneri, that whole movie is actually garbage. Because they had Naruto doing the Shadow Clone Jutsu before he learned the Shadow Clone Jutsu. They had Naruto getting in a Genjutsu when he had Kurama, so how the fuck is he getting in a Genjutsu? Then they had a whole Inception plot around Naruto and Hinata getting together. That movie was to make money, not to support Naruto. Which I guess is actually making money, but you guys know what I'm saying. So War Arc Kakashi, because he can keep up with and outspeed Diversion 2 Jinchuriki, who were juggling KCM Naruto among other things. So he is legit Raikage's fastest speed scaling. Okay, we're going to get to that. Because right now, War Arc Kakashi is still being relative to Zabuza. Grid. Can I pin comments? I probably can't. Not unless I'm on my channel. But let me read that again. So War Arc Kakashi, because he can keep up with and outspeed the version 2 Jinchuriki, who were juggling KCM Naruto among other things. All right. Yeah, we gotta heavily examine that. Because we'll get to it. Because I feel like there might be some embellishment in that sentence. Oh no, come on, load for me. What are we doing? Oh no, come on, load for me. Don't embarrass me. Do it. Web server is not responding. Let's see, man. All right, there we go. Okay. So yeah, Kakashi has Zabuza's backside. He's going to hit him with a Chidori. He's still getting blitzed and intercepted by a Haku that is an undetermined amount of distance away. So it's really hard. Like when, but okay, cool. So he gets interrupted. He gets intercepted by Haku, and then we know right after this, he's going to get sliced in half, damn near. Where are we at? Yeah. 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 So durability hasn't changed. Because the same thing that happened in part 1 is actually happening now again. He hits Haku and gets punished for it. What we can say, though, is that he is faster than Zabuza's striking speed because he's able to land his Chidori and take off Zabuza's arm in the process. So that's something. But then again, this is Zabuza, who's been dead for 2 years, 2.5 years now, or 2 years, whatever. So, okay, cool. From that, we get he got intercepted by Haku, and he's still getting hurt by regular sword swings. By people he should be stronger than. Is it raining? Yeah, it sounds like it's raining. Alright. Let's check Kakashi and Guy entering the fight. Chapter 5, 6. Well, no, I guess we have to start with Naruto. Because that was your point, Grid. You said Naruto was getting bounced around by them. So 521. Kakashi vs. Miss Nigga. If that's 521. Shinchiriki Ten Tails, Team 7. Team 7 fighting by no. Okay. Let's see. The army's battle begins. The legendary 7 swordsmen. Golden, Team Osma. Right. Fucking bugs. Mifune versus Hanzo. Farewell. Iruka's Naruto goes to war. Never fails. Okay. Madara's strategy. Raikage versus Naruto. Cool. The secret of the strongest tag team. Unforgettable 2 Sons. Immortal Army. The past versus the present. Naruto versus Itachi. No, not yet. On the battlefield, the Rasen Shuriken's Limit, Guard versus Mizukage, Joki Boy, Uchiha Madara, the power of the name, find yourself, Gathering of the 5 Kage. Shinchiriki versus Shinchiriki is what it should be. Alright. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's right. Chapter 565. Okay. Everybody wants to be my friend. I will check the comments right after. Okay, I can check them now because this is where Grid's talking about. All right, let's catch up really quickly. Literally right now, clones have better reaction speeds than Naruto characters. LOL. Fighting Karibo's war. LOL. I had a debate with one of my friends. Mugetsu says, had a debate with one of my friends about DMS Kakashi versus Vanilla Ice from JoJo. I think Vanilla Ice low diffs because JoJo has so many consistent light speed fights and Cream is just broken stand. Not familiar with. I still have to watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Still gotta watch that. Don't forget, people are still trying to say the Genjutsu Toneri used is equal to the Infinite Tsukiyomi, and since Sakura resisted Toneris, she could do that with Infinite Tsukiyomi. People are stupid, bro. People are so stupid. The same friend I had that debate with legit tried to debate Conan versus Shikai Byakuya. I'm like, bro, scissors beats paper. I mean, I don't know why anyone would ever put Conan against anyone in Bleach. She's featless, number one. Actually, no, we can stop there. There is no number 2. She's absolutely featless. She's living off of the name of the Akatsuki, and that is it. We don't know a single Biju that she ever captured. We don't know who in the series that she actually scales to in terms of speed, AP, or anything like that. Don't say Obito, because Obito is fucking human level. Please don't say that. So yeah, Conan really can't beat Jidambo. Conan can't beat Inosuke Iroku Madani. Conan can't beat Dan Kanoji. I don't know. Don't ever mention Conan to me. Clones react to blaster bolts. Actually, Makima also has better speed feat when she reacts to Gun Devil. I think Makima versus Madara is a better fight. Yeah, see, maybe well, no, I'm not going to read Chainsaw Man, but yeah. That's just evidence no one surpassed Haku's light speed ice mirror movement. Like shit. Ab-Stract, in the German dub of Naruto, Ninja can fly based off this censorship they did on Zabuza's weapon. What? That sounds so strange. Ab-Stract to me, stand proud, you are strong. Facts. Suigetsu versus Crocodile might make a good fight. I don't think so, Michael. I think Suigetsu takes that. I don't know how Crocodile could even. I don't know how Crocodile could win that fight at all. But then again, Suigetsu's not really like a strong water shinobi. He's not. I mean, like a strong water user. He's not really a powerful water user. Actually, never mind. I'll just damn you picks. Got you. If it is Crocodile from One Piece, Crocodile will win, but high diff due to water. So the thing is this, right? When I was watching Crocodile versus Luffy, it was very evident that Crocodile had Luffy with a slight speed edge, but Luffy, when it came to like AP and power, he was dogging Crocodile. Crocodile could not compete with Luffy's raw power. Like, Luffy's stamina is actually ridiculous. Conan, Ben Kenobi. No, I got Ben Kenobi. You out your mind. Hey, Maven. No. Ben Kenobi wins. Vader wins. Darth Sidious wins. Yeah. Ab-Stract, check Discord DMs and pull it up for the chat. Hold up. I got to read this after. A+ is more difficult. Well, so have you taken your Security Plus, Red? Is that why you're saying that? Is it raining? What is this? Oh, snap. We got like a hurricane. Yeah, that is crazy. We got like a whole hurricane here, basically. Everybody wants to be my friend. Alright, we'll chill with the glasses for a minute because I do actually want to see with my own eyes. Okay. Let's get into this Shinchiriki versus Shinchiriki and see how well B and Naruto actually do. Now, here's the thing about Naruto. From how you guys were describing Body Flicker to me, we should not presume his... See, and this is where Karibo's talks might have some merit, right? We should not presume his actual speed is the speed of his Body Flicker. We should not. But we'll see how this goes. Mind you, it's been a very long time since I've read this. We'll see how this goes, though. Raindrop. Drop top. So B rushes in. Right, let's go into defensive. Wait a second, Octopops. I don't remember her name, but B attacks with Samehada. She's able to react. B says nice movement. He throws Samehada. Samehada starts the bite. She flies up even higher to dodge Samehada. By this point, B is already behind her, throwing a lightning-enhanced sword. Okay, she hasn't spiked me. She hasn't spied. She hasn't spied my KO. Oh, spied my KO. Okay. So as it's coming, she of course dodges it due to the link to vision. And B is able to reposition himself and throw another enhanced sword. But he's being watched. And she dodges it again. How can she dodge it when she didn't even see it? Fool, ya fool. It's no good, Octopops. They're just like the 6 paths I fought before. Their Rinnegan eyes are linked. They're hooked up to each other. What do you mean? It's like Nagato's ghetto statue. All 6 can see the same thing. So, Roshi attacks Naruto mid-conversation. Naruto dodges, but is burned from the aura, not even the actual attack. So he got burned through his cloak through the aura. See, guys, this is why I always say Naruto's four-tailed version cloak is way stronger than his KCM form. The KCM form helped with chakra control and being able to fire off more jutsu, sure, but the durability really comes from being in his four tails / Biju mode. God, I can't get any words out. Yeah, see, so he's getting attacked mid conversation, and then what's her name? Yugito fires a cat ball at him, which B has to save him from. Yikes, that's Yugito's rodent hairball. They're following us. They're guided bombs. Let's beat a retreat without any qualms. So they're running. Yugito was right behind them. And I can't tell if that was a clash. That was probably a clash just now. But she should be behind him. So she caught up to base B. But that makes sense because she's in her one-tailed form. So her catching base B isn't a surprise. Yugito hasn't changed. Oh, wait. No, Yugito has changed. And now my scarf is rearranged. So, but he also got off a hit on her, too. It's that Sharingan. That's how they're able to track us so closely. Right. So, number one, she's in her one-tailed form, which would be an unquantifiable boost. Let's just say 2 times to be safe. I don't like... Yeah, let's just say 2 times to be safe. On top of the unquantifiable boost, which we're going to call 2 times, she also has a Sharingan and a Rinnegan in her eye. The Sharingan is going to help. And mind you guys, what I said yesterday, just because you have a Rinnegan, it doesn't mean it has the attributes of the Sharingan. He goes out his way to say it's the Sharingan. That's how they're able to track us. So it's not the Rinnegan, it's the Sharingan. That's how they're able to track them. Their ocular powers are enhancing their Chinchuriki abilities. They can use their shared vision to time their attacks to get to their greatest advantage. Cool. And so here's the thing with Naruto in his KCM form. So Naruto never really blitzes anybody in KCM form aside from that one Kisame showing and aside from dodging the Raikage. For whatever reason, he doesn't use his body flicker after that on anyone of note is beyond me. But what we will not do is presume just because you can now fight KCM Naruto, you're now as fast as him blitzing the Raikage. That's not what I'm going to do. That makes literally no sense. So, they have to make up a plan to stop the Edos, right? I was expecting Yugito checking her out when I discovered something strange sticking out. I wasn't sure what I was seeing, but let's see what she's got. Can't pay attention to whether she's hot or not. Hey, this battle is going to determine the future of the world. And you're focusing on what? That's it. I'll go check out the others. Cool. And so we have to realize here that Naruto's whole goal is actually to get hit so he can see if they all have rods in them. If our attacks won't hit and we can't catch them, I'll let myself get hit so I can grab them. Yeah, so mind you, I haven't read this shit in maybe about 5 years since the series ended. So yeah, this does not scale Son Goku? Roshi? Yeah, this does not scale Roshi right now. In fact, none of them really have any direct scaling to Naruto's max speed, actually. I'll let myself get hit so I can grab them. Ouch. Hot. And Naruto does a Rasengan, starts hitting the rod. Rasengan. There it is. Now just a little bit more. And he gets off guarded by the steam guy. This is also not an anti-feat for Naruto. Like, he's outnumbered. He has to let them come to him. He's outnumbered. You know, I'm not seeing any relativity yet here, Grid. Let me know when I should see the relativity, though. Are both of you okay? Ow. I can't read that. B, we're at a disadvantage fighting them in the woods. Your field of vision in particular is narrowed. You get me, right, B? Hey, yo. Blast all this force around us away. Eight Tails, that be me, the rapping killer bee. And so here's the thing too. Either the terrain they were fighting Kisame in, that being Eight Tails and B, was a lot bigger, or Eight Tails himself has gotten bigger. Because last time he transformed, he was not towering over the trees. In fact, he could fit inside the water dome that was towering over the trees. So he either got bigger and he can control his size, or they're in a smaller forest. So that's interesting. Just something to point out. All right, next chapter. Let's catch up. Bum ba da bum ba da bum bum bum. Bum ba da bum 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 bum. No, A+ is more difficult because there's a lot of subjects into one, while Network Plus and Security Plus is one subject. A+ got port numbers, hardware, troubleshooting tools, wires, etc. to remember. Yeah, but like, ports, like, well, I don't remember them now, but ports were easy for me. Well, that was me though. We might have started in different things, but okay, I got you. So Suigetsu might win if he goes into his giant water form. We haven't seen Crocodile absorb that much water in one go, but Crocodile would win if Suigetsu stays human-sized. Oh, okay. Okay, you're basing it off of him absorbing the water from Suigetsu, but Suigetsu is water, so that's kind of hard to imagine. Like, would all of Suigetsu just go in Crocodile? And then what would happen to Suigetsu if he just, like, kind of stayed in Crocodile as water? Would he, like, dry up and die? Funny to think about. Kai, that is a meaningless statement that has no effect on the scaling. Says one smart Kuribo. Kuribo, Jiren died to natural fire. No, that is not a meaningless statement. That is not a meaningless statement. It does have an effect on the scaling. It does. Because Koji goes out his way to say these are not cartoon. These are not fire-style flames. They're natural flames. Natural flames can only... Well, I'm not even going to get into it, bro. Hey, I'm Uriel. Oh, Lunar Ursa. You're Uriel. Okay, nice. Nice to have you in the chat. For you guys who don't know, Lunar Ursa, a.k.a. Uriel, is actually the person I was talking about in the beginning of the stream that asked me if the video I plan on making is to, like, you know, change the, like, sort of revolutionize the power scaling world, and so to speak. But nice to have you in the chat. No effect on the scaling, dog. A top tier in the verse died to what happens every day. There's dry lightning in California. That's hilarious. Mugetsu, can you actually prove that? The biblical angel stationed at the gates to paradise with a blade of flame. Hey, yo, Mugetsu, you know your stuff. That was scary. Why did I just shrink? Oh, I hit the fucking thing. Alright. Kai says Jiren is beyond stronger than Obito and has extremely better feats against stronger people and still died to natural fire. Hashirama cells ain't helping Obito durability. Oh yeah, no, they're definitely not. They're definitely not. Yeah, I don't know where this lie/rumor even started. That number one, Hashirama cells either make you more durable. I've even heard that people say that, oh, Uzumakis have a healing factor. That's not true. That's not true. You won't find that in the series. But yeah, a lot of things be going around. One smart. Yeah, I already read that. Yo, Ab-Stract, before I sleep, did I fight a good fight? You did your damnedest, Shinigami. Hoorah, brother. You make me proud. It has everything to do with scaling. Dog, read the damn manga. He literally gets burned to death by natural fire. And Ishiki had to come out because Jigen couldn't survive natural fire. True. I never meant to imply yesterday that the Rinnegan has Sharingan-like perception. It just busts your perception by giving you a range focusing mode and by giving you a pseudo bird's eye. Okay, all good. I got you. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. I got you. One Smart says, you haven't established why Koji's flames would matter to the Hashirama Cell's amp Obito. Well, I mean, the logic chain is this, Karibo. If Koji's flames could burn the human Jigen, why wouldn't they be able to burn Obito, who should be weaker than Jigen? That's the logic train. What do you mean supporting my claims? You were literally present in the stream where Ab-Stract read Jigen dying to natural fire. Those weren't Koji's flames, on Smart. He just summoned it from elsewhere. Not once in Naruto has Hashirama cells ever been stated or implied to increase durability. That's true. They aren't relative to KCM Naruto till they use their V2 cloaks. Okay, got you, Grid. Got you. You know what? Yeah, let's start going. You said they're V2 cloaks. Okay, cool. We'll see. See, but when you say they're not relative until they start using their V2 cloaks, well, you know, we'll just have to analyze it. We'll analyze it. Because my understanding of relativity, we'll get into it. Okay. Oh, wait. Does B have a sealing jutsu? What's going on here? Doesn't matter if they're being controlled by those rods or not. We'll just tie them up with ink doppelgangers. Sealing jutsu, octopus hold. They're all knocked out. This is our chance. We need to seal them away now, B. You know sealing jutsu octopops? Okay, so he makes ink clone killer bees. They run at the Biju. And they're holding them down. So that's it. That's only one of B's sealing jutsus. It's only 3 seconds. So that's it. That's only one of B's sealing jutsus. Okay, so B has multiple sealing jutsus. I didn't know that. It's only 3 seconds till the ink incapacitates them. Very nice. And this is good because all of them are in their one-tailed state forms. So here's the thing. Base B has some really good scaling. Base B is actually relative to a single-tailed other Jinchuriki. So actually, I'll say this. It's impressive, but it's not really that impressive considering it is Killer B, who is the most important Jinchuriki outside from Naruto. So it's impressive, but it's not like super, super crazy. But anyways, 1, 2, okay, they all transform. Oh, awesome sailing. Nah, the enemy did an awesome power-up. That masked jerk, he wasn't hiding in the ground. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we're missing Shukaku. Okay, so they're dashing at B and some at Naruto. B waves his tentacle. It looks like they dodge. One is in the middle of B's hand. It looks like he lands the punch on it. Can't really tell. Bug bite. Naruto blocks. Cat claws. Okay. So Naruto is in fact getting bodied. But there are multiple of them kind of running back and forth and hitting him at the same time. Now, here is the thing with this. Yo, Naruto scaling is so funny, man. Alright. Let's see. Who do we have here? So this is the girl. Cat Claws is Yugito. This is probably the Six Tails right here. And I don't know who this one is. So Naruto's fighting 3 of them at once. He's able to block one. But the minute he's done blocking one, and as you can see, she's leaving, Yugito comes in and smacks him over the head. And as he's recovering from his smack over the head, so and so hits him in the back. Oh, this is the cloud one because I think it has the stone stuff. Not the cloud one, the steam guy. The steam guy. It's super alkaline fluid. Your skin is melting. Yeah, that's definitely the Six Tails. So, while these things are able to land attacks on Naruto, I'm always hesitant to give relativity to group fights. I really am. Like, things like this, for me at least, muddy the waters. He's taking on 3 of them at the same time, and he's able to block the first one. But these are all Shinchiriki in their 5th tail. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, and 1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna assume they're all in their 6-tailed forms. Anywhere from 4 to 6 tails. But they are landing hits on him too. So this does mean, to some degree, not that they are faster per se, but he is getting overwhelmed from the amount of attacks. Floral Mountain. I don't even know who does that attack. This is not good. I didn't think they could undergo Biju transformation in their current state. Naruto, we need to retreat and regroup. Okay. That one transforms, attacks Killer B, injures B, and pushes him back pretty far. You can't move. Even if you're all Shinchiriki, 6 against 2 appears to be bad odds, huh? I touch you, I win. No. And Lee, I was about to say Lee, and Guy and Kakashi come in time to save him. They weren't okay. All Hashirama cells do is give access to wood style and regen. Yep. You haven't provided anything saying the origin of the flames would have any effect on the scaling. Kai says, especially since Kakashi was still able to pierce Obito with lightning blade. Hell, we see Kakashi punching Obito when he was in the comedy dimension is just as effective. That's true. John the Maven says, read B's lines like Kendrick and Naruto's like Drake. No, definitely not doing that. It's natural fire. It's understood down to a science. That's true. I swear to God, Kuribo is like top 5 most disingenuous people I ever met. Hey, yo. What are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? Kuribo will take on the world if it is for Naruto. Kakashi has the AP necessary to do those things. You have said nothing that affects the scaling. So you're making baseless assumptions. Red says, ports are easy to remember, but you also have security and network as well to remember too in A+. Also remembering power supply names, wattage, so much to recall. I got you. Yeah, no. Well, here's my thing, because I come from the telecommunications or the technical background as far as the hardware. So that stuff was always kind of easier for me. So I do get what you're saying. If you're like new to that stuff and you don't know Cat 5, Cat 6, coax, helix cables, if you don't know the termination pairs and all that stuff, it could definitely be challenging. Thanks, Lunar. I don't know if I want to call you Lunar or Uriel. I think Uriel, because Uriel is a fire name, number 1, and I do like the biblical reference. So Uriel it is. Ab-Stract, Kuribo trying to tell me to prove Jigen died in actual fire when we was both there in the stream where you read it happen. I don't know what to do with Kuribo. Kuribo is the reason we're having Toshiro versus Kakashi, guys. I don't know what to do with him. Also, Trip, you should practice clouding. I plan to do AWS soon alongside other clouding as well, then go into machine learning, etc. Clouding, okay. Oh, do you mean Azure? Or do you mean Azure Cloud? I've heard of AWS. That's definitely familiar. But do you mean like Azure Cloud for that? Zenaya J. Scott. I've seen you before. Not trying to get too ahead, but you can get Raikiri Kakashi relative to Master Obito and Naruto in 595. Okay, let me read that again. Not trying to get too ahead, but you can get Raikiri Kakashi relative to Master Obito. Oh, okay. Master Obito. So here's the thing. Here is the thing. Naruto in his KCM form is not really a good scaling metric because time and time again, after blitzing the Raikage, he's shown to be tagged or intercepted by people who don't have those feats. And the last thing that we're going to do on this channel is upscale a character that doesn't have the necessary prerequisites or feats to say, oh yeah, now we can upscale every character because he dodged Raikage. So if they can tag Naruto, then they should be able to dodge Raikage or be relative. We're not going to be doing that. So Masked Obito really isn't crazy. Obito has been all hacks since the beginning. Is this to say he's slow? No, I do believe he's fast for his verse, so to speak, right? But Obito is not a speed demon. Obito is not a speed demon. He's not like seventh gate guy. He's not KCM Naruto when he's moving as fast as he can. He's not Raikage. You know what I mean? So like the whole Naruto speed scaling always gets me. And this is why I always say, guys, this is why I always say chakra is not stats, and you're going to have to find out each individual person's speed based on what they have shown to be able to do. This is why I always say this. Finding minimums for the verse, fine. Finding usable things that we can blanket, like a high end or a mid ball, we can't do that. We can do minimums for the verse, fine. Like, I don't mind saying Mach 11 is a minimum right now. I don't mind saying that. But when we start looking at individual people, Obito has not shown he can move as fast as the guy that just blitzed Raikage. Kakashi has not shown he can move as fast as the guy that blitzed the Raikage. Sped past the Raikage. And even that is in question because it took Naruto, 6 times to get past the Raikage? Really making that feat an outlier if we want to be honest. Because that would go against the previously failed attempts that he tried to do. Hope all that made sense. One smart, it literally does. It establishes that natural fire can kill high-tier characters. Natural fire is not remotely strong by anime standards. Uriel says, so does that mean that Obito blocking Suigetsu feat is a raw durability feat? Yes! Yes! That is correct, Uriel. It is a raw durability feat. That's correct. Absolutely correct. Why is this? Oh, I gotta take this off. Yeah, Obito blocking Suigetsu has everything to do with Suigetsu being ass and nothing to do with your internal chakra acting as a shield, acting as an increase to your durability. Because the first thing I'm going to ask you is, okay, so where in the series is it stated, suggested, or shown that chakra can be used this way outside of Sage Mode, Bijou Cloaks, and Ninjutsu? That's the first thing I'll ask you when anyone brings up the conversation of internal chakra boosting durability. I have a whole video on it. Maybe you've seen it, Uriel. I don't know. Because you said you've tuned into the streams. I don't know how much you've tuned into my actual videos. But I do a breakdown on that. And I actually might have to do another breakdown on that because I'm still having conversations where people don't understand just how important it is that you realize chakra is an amp to stats and does not equal your stats. There's a big difference. In fact, at the end of this, I'll go into one of my comments where I'm talking with the guy. And he said, yeah, we all say that chakra amps stats, but we really mean it equals stats. And when we're saying it amps stats, that's what we mean. And I'm like, well, hold up, bro. You can't just assert chakra equals stats and then say, well, I really mean they amp stats. Those are two different things. If chakra is an amp to stats, then it's not your resting power. It means it has to be used a certain way. It has to be manipulated a certain way. It has to be put to task in a specific way, right? And then we find out in Naruto especially that these things happen and they vary by character. They vary by user. No one hits as, well, at least no one right now hits as hard as Sakura because, well, Tsunade does, right? But that's a rare thing to hit as hard as Sakura. Shisui the Teleporter, that's a rare thing in Naruto. To be able to master body flicker to like that to such a degree, that's a rare thing. Asuma with his wind chakra blades, we can call that a rare thing. No one does wind style to that degree like Asuma does. He is the best wind style weapon specialist user. Right? So every feat, or I'm sorry, every person kind of has to be graded on their own individual scale. You do not scale to the energy, and these people do not have all of the same prerequisites to get the same results. Alright. I think you could imply the fire from the faraway flaming mountains are superior to normal flames or whatever. Because why would Koji go as far as the summon instead of making a forest fire? Well, so here's the thing though, like, why would you go out your way? So I'll say this, Grid. I'll just say this. It's way more convenient to have a place that's going to have reoccurring fires that will continuously go and have a summoning seal there, then start your own forest fire, manage your own forest fire with a clone, because that's what you would have to do. You'd have to make sure the fire keeps burning, and then do it at the right time to have Jigen caught off guard. No, it was smarter to just have the eternal flames be set up around. I'm sorry, it was smarter to have the ceiling circle or whatever he used to be set up around the eternal flames. That it's just much more convenient, much smarter. Good night, folks. Hey, take it easy, Michael. Who gets you have provided no evidence to make such a claim. Kai says the closest thing to it, and Suigetsu isn't particularly strong with his strikes at that point. Yes, essentially Suigetsu is ass, is what I'm basically getting at. Also, the existence of natural energy in Naruto implies something can be of natural origin and not normal at the same time. Also, Amid says, or Grid says, also, the existence of natural energy in Naruto implies that something can be of natural origin and not normal at the same time. You said natural origin and not normal? So, if it's of natural origin, what would make it? So, if are you talking about the fire? Because it kind of depends on what you're talking about in that case specifically. If it's of natural origin and not normal, this would suggest it's special in some type of way, right? But we know that the fire of Mount Miyaboku in that area forms naturally. So that would make it of natural origin, right? So yeah, I kind of need to understand where the not normal is coming from your perspective. Octopops holds the most sus databook entry. Enemies get laid before their final moments. That's crazy. There's no escape from the torture technique. That is wild, Maven. I hope it doesn't say that. I honestly feel bad for bro if you can't use basic critical thinking to see how natural fire killing a top tier is a pretty big precedent for scaling. Yeah. Yeah. Kribo says, I've explained the flames before, but you continue to be disingenuous. Your concession is accepted. Mugetsu says, your concession is accepted. It's exactly what a disingenuous person would say. Nobody conceding. I'm just bored of your inability to understand what's on the page. Not worth debating you. Okay. Mugetsu says, if it's out of your capacity to comprehend the feats on the page, there's nothing to gain from debating you. John says, they like to do no damage to him low-key. Coral Palm immobilizes him. The guy fucking Doom elbows his spine and he's fine. Like shit. Did he already do that actually? No, he didn't do it yet. But yeah, okay, so they saved Naruto. My bad, Trip. Can you repost your Discord? Busy at work, so I didn't get a chance to get... I'll damn you. Yeah, I got you, bro. Give me a second. What was it? Ab-Stract 1570. There we go. Right, so Sasuke comes out. Okay, we'll stop here. Where was I? He's the Naruto. Mugetsu says he's the Naruto throat. Y'all gotta stop, man. Y'all gotta stop. Mind you, I have to read all the comments for when I go back and review the live. Mugetsu says he's the Naruto throat goat. Whenever a Naruto character has unglazed meat, Kariba will show up to save the day. Uriel says, but only because the scrutiny of your meta makes sense with a conservative scaling philosophy. I think it's entirely plausible that some chain scaling appears throughout the manga, though. I think it does. And I really want it to. Believe me, I want nothing more than to legitimize saying character A over here who doesn't have a feat can perform character B's feat. I would love nothing more. But their power system and how he's chosen to go about this stuff makes that extremely difficult. Makes it extremely difficult. Like, here's something that I could probably do, but I really don't know how I would feel about it. We know Kakashi and Guy are rivals, right? Should I then presume to make the claim that Kakashi can fight at the level of 7th Gate Guy simply because they're rivals? I don't know if I can do that, actually. I don't know if I can do that. I think it's cheating to even say that. I think it's cheating to suggest that. We have no idea when they've fought, how serious it's gotten. We have no idea if Kakashi can take 7th Gate Guy, which I don't think he can. I think Guy whoops that ass all day. But they're rivals. They are rivals. All right. I'm not going to acknowledge you anymore till you make a decent point. Kept talking about me, says Karibo. Yours truly, Highness Zoro. If no one else suffers because of it, then you have my respect. Uriel says, for me, that means Taijutsu is king for stats. Here's something else though, Uriel. Here's something else. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is not me like using a scaling thing. This is just something I believe. Named characters, well, at least in Naruto, named characters, 9 times out of 10, will always be able to scrap and throw hands with each other. Will always be able to scrap and throw hands with each other. There's not really any instances where someone is severely outmatched in taijutsu. It's very, I can't even think of an instance where someone is severely maxed out in taijutsu. Like, unless we're talking like part 1 Sasuke to Lee. But that was really because Lee was a fucking monster back then. Like, if 2 people are relative, have a name, or even like close to each other, taijutsu is not going to make or break the fight. So as much as I would like taijutsu to also be king, I don't even know if I could do that. Like, that standard only exists for Guy because he is the taijutsu god at this point. He's 7th Gate, he's 8th Gate, he's taijutsu god. Ain't nobody talking about you. I keep telling you not to at me if you have nothing to note to say, yet you still do. I will no longer pay attention to you, Mugetsu. Mugetsu says again, bro can't even tell me attacking his argument is different from attacking himself. It's like his entire self-worth is based around Naruto characters winning fights. Kuribo responds, keep atting me. We're talking about me. If you weren't antagonistic, we wouldn't be in this scenario. Uriel says implausible claim. Implausible claim. The natural flames were eternal, special therefore, but it might be exploiting the nature energy weakness. Implausible claim. The natural flames were eternal, special therefore, but it might be exploiting the nature energy weakness. Alright, break that down for me a little bit more. From my understanding, the flames are only eternal because of the process and how they're continuously produced. But mind you, we don't have any information on these flames. It could very well be a raging inferno of flames that is just sitting. And there's no combustion. There's nothing to actually spark them to make them come alive. That could very well be the case. But how I looked at it was when he said that, I looked at, okay, a continuous process somewhere in Mount Miyaboku is making fire and has continued to make fire since that place existed. That's how I look at it. I could be wrong, though. And bro's still at me. Kai says, Ab-Stract coming from natural origin but not being normal is like saying an iron bar comes from iron ore, but the bar itself isn't normal because you have to melt it to make it. It's still normal, though. Yeah, it's kind of convoluted. Takes a little mental gymnastics, at least for me. Hearing that is kind of weird. Ugetsu was attacking my IQ or just repeatedly calling me disingenuous, a reasonable way to attack an argument. Attacking your IQ, little bro. I was making a joke at your expense. I don't actually insult people for real over anime. It's just banter, fam. If you can't take it, that's on you, not me. Kai says, Uriel, if it was exploiting nature energy, then Koshin wouldn't have needed it and just continued using jutsu while in sage mode. That's a good point. Uriel says, right, but the power system MA. So what's the joke? What was supposed to be funny? No one laughed. Bro needs to level up his IQ to triple digits. The way I worded that should make it obvious it's a joke. Grid says, Koji could not do that. Sage Jutsu combines nature energy with chakra to create Senjutsu, which would be something that Karma can absorb. The claim was just something I was thinking of. Okay, gotcha. All right, bet. Let's read, because I got to get into Grid's claim about the tailed beast. Okay, so the Five Tails is running. Guy breaks the thing on Naruto's back. And Obito starts to restrain the Five Tails. So painful. Can't believe I'm his. It was trying to attack Obito? Toby? Why is he bottling up the Biju's power? I don't know. He doesn't seem to have the Biju completely under his control. Maybe. Hey, did you hear that, Naruto? That voice, yeah. That was the Biju Five Tails voice. Okay, Biju are talking. They're alive. Okay, here we go. So we got Guy and Kakashi at the front. We first need to confirm which one performs which. We first need to confirm which one performs which of Pain's jutsu. Guy, what? I have enough trouble remembering people's faces. These guys all look the same to me. Oh, he was saying Guy. I read it as Guy. All right, 8 inner gates, 6 gate of joy open. Lightning blade. All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, cool. So Kakashi's lightning blade hits 1. Guy in 6 gates fist hits another. Kakashi's lightning blade hits 1 more, and then Guy kicks another. Okay. And then 3 of them come at Naruto. 3 headed your way, Naruto. Okay. Okay. This could be considered some good relativity. Because even though they're outnumbered, I would still consider this interaction a one-on-one. I would consider this interaction a quote-unquote one-on-one, even though it's like a 5v3. I'd still consider it a one-on-one. So here's the thing. Kakashi Kakashi, I don't want to say. Let's see. Because the tails differ so much. The tails differ so much. Like, now the question is, are the other tailed beasts as powerful as Naruto's 6 to 4 tails? That's the question I'd have to answer now, too. I need some minimums for these guys. But his lightning blade is at least able to interact with them. But I don't know how important that is because, like, it's not like they're... I don't know. Let me see. Let me keep going. There's better than what I faced before, and I'm more serious now too hardcore. Okay. Chakra absorption, Kuchio Sail, summoning, magnetic pull and repulsion, chakra extraction, puppetry. What's going on? They're not using any of those. So he ducks a lightning blade, and then Guy and Kakashi both get hit back. Okay, so their opening was good at the very least. They had a solid opening. They had a solid opening. But even though these are Edo, his lightning blade didn't pierce through any of them. His lightning blade didn't pierce through any of them. So his AP is definitely lower than their durability. And this one outright dodges him and then smacks him and Guy back. Yeah, why aren't they using Pain's Jutsu? Maybe they or he can't. So he's not foolish enough to divvy up his chakra to make them perform Pain's Jutsu that are already known to be able to be countered. It's got to take serious amounts of chakra to completely control 7 Biju with just one's ocular powers. More impressive deductive skills, Master Kakashi. One's attacking Naruto. He blocks it with a chakra fist. So the 6 tails transforms 2 of them this time. And the 5 tail... No. Rengoku is the 4 tails, I think. Anyways, 2 of them transform. Six tails sprays something at them. Damn. And the 4 tails literally throws the 8 tails. And he almost eats Naruto. Naruto has to pop KCM to stop the bite force of the 4 tails. Now, if I remember correctly, okay, yeah, okay. So, at the very least, like, here's my thing. And this is why I really don't like team fights like that. Unless it's like a 1v20 type scenario. Because then we know where at least one person stands. Okay. So, he's able to dodge. But in their initial counter... See, but they're just clashing, though. I don't know if I can even use this. All they're doing is clashing. Guy's looking good. Guy has his foot planted in one. Kakashi has his lightning blade ducked. And then they're both smacked back. Kai says, so Grid, you admit that the flames were indeed normal since Kawaki explained it in detail. One Smart says, what would be funny about that statement? You saying it while assuming all fire in existence is actually the same. Well, like, even if not all natural fire is the same, Karibo, we know it's... So, here's my thing, Karibo. Do you think natural fire is more potent than jutsu-based fire? Because this is what the crux of the argument is. If natural fire is weaker than jutsu-based fire, and he's dying to natural fire, this is the issue. It doesn't really matter. And we can find some high balls, low balls, or extreme high balls or extreme low balls to figure out, or not even to figure out, to say, okay, cool. This is how hot natural fire can get to a degree. Do you think that's above jutsu level fire? Do you think that's above Sasuke's level of fire without using Amaterasu? Or do you think it's like the same level of fire? The power system does make it harder. However, if the whole cast is relative, we have to find the speed tier that matches the verisimilitude of the story. How fast do these characters all need to be? How fast do they all need to be? God, man, that's such a tough question. That's such a tough question because we can literally do that across the board and we won't find the same answers. Like if I ask you how hard do they need to hit or how strong are they, we kind of run into the same issue. We're going to have to individually look at what feats are performed and by who to determine that. And some people don't even put chakra control to strength and striking power. So they just like hit with the normal basic attacks of a regular shinobi. So it makes it really hard. Here's the thing though. You said, what'd you say? Hold up, where'd it go? I just saw it. Where we go? I'll get down to it. Okay, once more. All I'm gonna say is, if I was insulting you for real, you'd know. Mugetsu says, and I'm exerting a lot of effort restraining myself from popping off off the lip right now. Hey, chill, Moog, chill. Karibo's good people, bro. we know what we getting. Chill, we good. There's a lot that I want to say, but actively choosing not to. Kai says, we don't know if they are abstract. You'd think Kishimoto would have made a distinction between how strong each biju is compared to each other, so we know for sure. Exactly. And then you have statements like, where does Kurama say it? We have statements, Kurama saying, oh, shut your trap. By the way, given the number of tails you have, aren't you the next most powerful after me, 8 tails? And then the 8 tails literally contradicts this and says, you've always been like that. That's why the 1 tail really hated you. Because he goes on to say, what do you say? Don't decide who's stronger or weaker based on the tail count. What are we supposed to do with that? We have the strongest one saying, aren't you supposed to be the strongest after me because you have 8 tails? Then we have 8 tails saying, no, tails have never dictated our strength. Maybe that's for you, but that would make you the exception to the rule and not the rule. So Kishimoto did us no favors. Grid says, Kai, my claim was never non-normalcy. My claim is that the existence of nature energy makes those flames normal, but their AP wouldn't necessarily be limited to what we know of fire. So then we're like in a... That was weird. Let me read it again. Grid says, my claim was never non-normalcy. My claim is that the existence of nature energy makes those flames normal. Why would the existence of nature energy make them normal? Why would the existence of nature energy make the flames normal? I'm having a hard time following this. When you say normal, do you mean like natural, as in they occur naturally, or do you mean normal as in, okay, they were generated naturally, so they have nature energy? Their AP wouldn't necessarily be limited to what we know of fire. Uriel says, for me, Mach 11 seems fine for everyone up to signing level. But if we find better stats, we might have to upscale to make the story coherent to reading comprehension. We don't scale into plot holes. Yeah, I'll say this. Mach 11, I think that's a good baseline for named characters. I think that's a baseline. I think that's a good baseline for characters that have a name and that can actually perform feats, not no name fodder. I think that's fine, generally speaking. The issue is going to be after we do that, okay, what other feats do we have that everyone else can scale to? That's going to be the big issue that we run into. Uriel says again, because it seems like everyone from Jonin to Sanin level can physically fight within 10 times of each other, else we'd see blitzes. You said fight within 10 times of each other? It seems like everyone from Jonin to Sanin level, and I'm very careful with how I use the word level in Naruto because I don't know how long you've been here, Uriel, but one of my sayings for Naruto is there's no such thing as a stronger ninja, only a better ninja. And what this really means is that all ninja can pretty much take each other out. It's really just based on the tools they have at their disposal, their level of mastery over those tools, and how good they are at being ninja. So when you say they can physically fight within 10 times of each other, number one, that kind of sounds weird to me. Explain that a little bit. That kind of sounds weird to me. If you mean they don't get beyond 10 times of each other, I can kind of get behind that. But it's also kind of weird. And your comment about the blitz as well. You said, where was it? Yeah, you said else we'd see blitzes. Part of the reason we don't see blitzes is because outside of a select few people, no one's really that fast. Like, no one's really that fast point A to point B speed-wise. And Rev and Grid could probably explain more as far as the body flicker thing, because I was learning new stuff about body flicker when they were chopping it up about that anyway. From what I gathered, apparently body flicker only allows you to move in a set direction, and you can't really do anything while you're moving in that set direction. Hence why Tobirama's body flicker, he did this pose to cut Madara's brother Izuna down the armpit, right? So that you gotta like think about stuff like that as well. It could just be that like, hey, we all are fast, but using body flicker has its disadvantages. If you're not a body flicker master, moving in a set speed and not being able to change speeds at high speed could be more disadvantageous to you, as opposed to just using your normal speed and having a better reaction time. So like, again, we kind of find ourselves stuck in this thing where we don't know and we have to base it off of each individual character. And I really do hate that about Naruto. But at the same time, when you understand how the power system works, this is exactly what you get. But okay, let's keep going. Yeah, so this is going to be hard to use. I'll consider this, though. Guy and Kakashi are at least able to react to the attacks of the tailed beasts in these forms. Even if they do get knocked away a panel later, they're able to react. You're too sweet for me. Grid, Kai says, Grid, you would have to have undeniable proof that the flames wouldn't be limited to what we know. Then you'd have to apply that literally everything in Naruto, buildings, trees, air, etc. Yeah, and I think you actually said this last stream, Grid. Our first point for scaling would be reality. That would be our first point for scaling. Now, I understand the need to want to upscale these flames, but the entire point of the flames is that they are natural flames, not meant to be absorbed. That's the whole point of them, right? So when people be peddling this, oh, Naruto durability and all this stuff, mind you, you're really only talking about Naruto when he's in his full avatar. Sasuke, when he's in his full avatar. Because aside from that, he will get burned from natural flames. Kunai will hurt them that are not enhanced. Okay. Where was I? Who gets it says Ab-Stract. I officially empathize with how Man Ray felt in SpongeBob when he was trying to return Patrick's wallet. Like shit. I know, hey bro, but this is why this like what you're going through, Moo, is exactly how me and Karibo's conversations be going on Twitter. And I be like, hey yo, fuck it. I'm gonna just make a video, bro. That's how he be getting me to make videos. Swear to God. Uriel says, the problem is that signing can make Virgin 2 Chinchuriki budge, which makes Kakashi look unimpressive. I gotta learn how to say that word. Verisimilitude means story consistency. Verisimilitude. Okay. That's a nice word. I like that word. Alright, let's analyze that though. You said the problem is the signing can make Virgin 2 Chinchuriki budge, which makes Kakashi look unimpressive. Yeah, so it's even more unimpressive when you consider the fact that the Akatsuki were hunting these things down in pairs and fighting the full Biju. But then again, you have to look at how the Akatsuki were also fighting them. A lot of the Akatsuki had the necessary tools to beat the Biju. No one in the Akatsuki had the strength. Well, maybe no. Well, no. Yeah, no. No one in the Akatsuki had the AP of a Biju, right? No one in the Akatsuki had the overall total energy of a Biju. For Kasami, it came down to shaving its chakra down, making its power his stamina and health, and using Water Dome to defeat it that way, probably. With Itachi, it more than likely came to Amaterasu and Tsukuyomi. With Deidara, he could literally spam bombs and hurt it from afar. So there might be some credit for Deidara's explosions. We don't know if Sorcery ever captured one. We don't know if he captured one, but for him, it would obviously be doing the poison before they even transformed. Kakuza and Hidan took out Yugito, which is actually weird because Tail Beast shouldn't be able to bleed, but Hidan was able to complete his ritual on Yugito. That's strange. Don't know what we want to do with that. They should be pure energy, so I'm told they shouldn't have blood, but he completed his ritual on her, which means they do bleed. I don't even know what we want to do with that. I don't think I even have to mention Pain. He's Pain. He's capturing any Biju that he comes across. So yeah, when we look at that, it is kind of unimpressive for Kakashi because yes, he's only fighting so many tails. Number one, he doesn't really have a method to beat them. Number two, like Kakashi can't take a prolonged fight with a Biju, and I think he can really only clash using Lightning Blade. How like Guy can only really clash using the 6/7th gate. And then we find out Jiraiya pretty much got his gut gouged out from a single hit from Naruto. It's just like, what are we doing with this stuff, man? What are we doing with this stuff? Real question. I know Kribo is good people. That's why I'm stopping myself. If I thought he was actually a Bellin, I wouldn't hold myself back. I'd just crash out. By the way, I ran into a JJ Kid fan that tried to use Maki catching a bullet point blank as a legit speed feat. Gege himself literally disregarded that feat as an outlier because he actually power scales his series. Really? He said it was an outlier? That's interesting. I'm not mad at that feat though. Hey, I don't mind that feat. I think it's pretty decent. Jutsu fire and natural fire vary. Kid Sasuke vaporized stone. Amaterasu can't be extinguished by any water, and Amaterasu made metal vanish. The eternal flames at a minimum is relative to Amaterasu. That is a crazy chain scale. Karibo, that was diabolical. The shit you just tried to pull, Karibo, that was diabolical. Let's read that again. You said Jutsu fire and natural fire vary. Kid Sasuke vaporized stone. Well, he vaporized earth, which is more dirt than anything. So I don't know where you got stone unless you're talking about when he's using Chidori. But even then, we don't know the process at which that stone was destroyed. So calling it vaporization is very presumptuous. So I wouldn't even go that route. That's number one. Then you said Amaterasu can't be extinguished by any water. Any water in Naruto. Let's not use no limit fallacies. It can't be extinguished by any means we've seen in Naruto. If Toshiro froze Sasuke's Amaterasu, I fully believe he would be able to freeze it because Toshiro's ability works on a higher conception than Sasuke's regular fire. Sasuke's not out here burning things that can reflect damage, which is a conceptual thing. The thought of damage being like, yeah, his fire isn't doing that. Toshiro's ice is actually doing that. So that's another thing. Can't be extinguished by any water. Then you said Amaterasu made metal vanish. I would call that an outlier. Show me it doing that more than one time. That's in the actual manga, because it doesn't happen in the main Boruto continuity. That happens in an off thing with Shinuchi and all this other stuff. So the feat actually doesn't even happen in the main source material of Boruto. It doesn't. So that's number two. Then you say the eternal flames at a minimum is relative to Amaterasu. No idea where you got that from. You made that up. You made that up. Show me where the link is between regular flames, natural flames from Mount Miyaboku, and Amaterasu. Show me that, please. We got to see what goes on to say. I will relent. I will relent on one thing. I do think jutsu using nature fire is likely stronger than the natural element in nature itself because it's focused on a specific point, but to an unquantifiable degree. I do think jutsu using natural fire. Oh, jutsu using natural fire. Okay. Yeah, I think that's fair. Just like using natural water for a water dragon with manipulated chakra would be stronger. I think that's fair. Uriel says, I mean, statistically, they don't get beyond 10 times the stats. Speed, strength, or whatnot. Yeah. I mean, statistically, they don't get beyond 10 times the stats. Are you... Well... So, do you mean in regards to each other, or in an individual level? Yeah, because if you mean themselves 10 times their stats, I wholeheartedly agree with you because the way chakra works, it would be extremely difficult to amp all of your stats 10 times over. Because how chakra manipulation works is you have to focus chakra to each part of your body for a specific task. So if you're putting chakra to your feet, I imagine it would also be very hard to put the same amount of chakra to the same degree, mind you, 10 times over, to your fist. I imagine that would be very hard. And then that goes into like putting 10 times chakra into your jutsu. I imagine that would be very hard to do. But if you mean they don't get 10 times outside themselves as far as stats, that one can be true up to a certain point. It would vary by stat, but that could be true. Like, I have no problem saying Sakura hits more than 10 times harder than any one of her peers. She just does. She has the feats to back it up. We know they don't even specialize in fighting like that. So that's one example. Right? Kai says, we've never seen or had a statement that would suggest those natural flames are relative to Amaterasu in any way. Yeah, I don't know where Karibo got that from. Mugetsu says, sleeping Naruto versus random crackhead with a Glock, who winning? Yeah, if the crackhead catches Naruto while he's slipping, the crackhead wins 9 times out of 10. Mugetsu says, remember when Four-Tail Cloak Naruto was crashing out? Armless Orochimaru was just having fun playing with him and didn't sweat until he did a Biju bomb. Yeah, exactly. So it's hard to even say Kakashi is on that level. But like narratively, you would want him to be, right? Like you would think he's on that level at least by now. That was a no-armed Orochimaru having a field day with the Four Tails. You're telling me Kakashi at this point isn't even that? Well, the feats don't suggest he is. And that was Orochimaru fighting the Nine Tails. Kakashi's fighting, quote unquote, according to Kurama, quote unquote, weaker Biju. Thank you for that, Kai. I'm going to write that down and bring that up in the video. I'm going to bring that up in the video. Orochimaru was having a field day with the Four Tails. And on Kakashi's best arc, being the war arc, he's barely relative. A field day, F-I-E-L-D day with the Four Tails. While Kakashi is barely relative. Hey, Karibo. I'm still waiting for a relative. R-E-L-A-T-I-V-E. Yeah, Karibo, I'm still waiting. And I'm asking in seriousness, Karibo. I'm asking in seriousness. I need this from you. I need a feat, or I need a chain scale for Kakashi of someone else that has a feat. That doesn't include the data books, that doesn't include the novels, and that doesn't include him standing with his hand up, cutting lightning. I really need something. Because as it stands, even me lowballing the shit out of Toshiro, he's getting off on Kakashi every day of the week. And it's funny. People really like to make fun of the whole Gin Mach 500. Ha ha ha, Bleach is Mach 500. But when I ask you to give me a feat that doesn't involve anything that would make us scale inaccurately, and I can actually say that because data books are unreliable due to their hyperbolic statements and things being contradicted. Novels are unreliable because you can't actually calc anything. There's no context to a novel. All you get is the words. So you can't really calc anything. Yeah. So like when I ask you for like mediums, when I ask you to scale through mediums that are like solely within the source material, Naruto doesn't have much. This is the truth. Naruto just doesn't have much. Me stopping at the Mach 500 is a bad thing for Kakashi. It's very bad for Kakashi. Maybe I'll ask Vector. Vector might have a speed scale I could use. I might check with him. Kribo says, Kai, Jigen got hit by Amaterasu. Also, I think Koji described the same flames when cooking Victor. Yeah, so here's the thing, Kariba, right? Here's the thing. Jigen got hit by both of the flames. The only difference in them was that he couldn't absorb the natural flames, right? So that doesn't mean Amaterasu and regular flames are same level. No. That just means he had the chance to absorb Amaterasu before it did damage to him. That wouldn't make them relative. That wouldn't make them equal. Amaterasu would have hurt him as well. It's just that he couldn't absorb the natural flames. So this wouldn't put natural flames on the level of Amaterasu just because he got hit with Amaterasu and decided to absorb it. If Amaterasu had stayed on him, he would have been burnt to a crisp as well. This doesn't mean they're equal. This just means regular. It just means fire can hurt him. It just means fire can hurt him, bro. We've never seen or had a statement that would suggest that natural flames. Did I already read that? I did. Okay. Kai says, there was the twins that got R by Kurama, and there were a piece in her stomach to gain off the chakra. Oh, yeah, Jinkaku and Kinkaku. I don't know what I said to make you say that, though, so try and remind me. Mugetsu says, it is an outlier because in the culling games, Gege basically sets the top tier speed around Mach 3 as Nayuta, or do you mean Naoya? is Mach 3 around relative in speed with heavenly restriction Mach-E. Okay, cool. I don't mind following that. If it's an outlier, it's an outlier. Kai says, that's like saying... Guy says, the one smart, that's like saying because Madara got hit with Amaterasu that a regular fireball would be just as hot. Exactly, bro. Madara got hit with Amaterasu and absorbed it. So therefore, regular fireball just as hot? No, that wouldn't make sense, bro. Rigetsu says, and heavily restrictions Maki is stated multiple times to be strong, if not stronger than Toji. Kuribo says, the series says Amaterasu can't be extinguished by water. I don't see Toshiro handling the heat well. Yeah, adult Toshiro, full Bankai Toshiro, is nullifying Amaterasu. Just because his ability works on a higher conception than Amaterasu has shown to work on. If Amaterasu was out here burning any concepts or burning anything that had to do with a concept, then maybe, like for example, if Amaterasu was able to burn through Ada's love hacks, that'd be something we could be like, all right, damn, Amaterasu's scaling on a conceptual level. It's affecting the concept of whatever Ada is, love or charm, whatever. It's burning on that. Sadly, it's not doing anything like that. It's been sticking to being physical. It's been sticking to being extremely basic. Toshiro's out here freezing things that have the concept of reflection imbued into them. He's freezing things that have the very concept of reflecting damage imbued into them. If you hurt Hoffnung, you will take damage. Toshiro freezes and cuts Hoffnung in half, effectively putting a stop to its ability and destroying the damn thing, and nothing happened to him. He'd be absolutely fine if Amaterasu were to touch him. And then even if Amaterasu did hit him, he could just literally power up and do a shockwave. It's not a hard ability to deal with. Everyone has to be relative to each other, right? Named ninja can harm each other. If you're asking me, Uriel, let me read that again. You said everyone has to be relative to each other, right? Named ninja can harm each other. Yeah, named ninja can harm each other. Unnamed ninja can harm named ninja. But no, that wouldn't necessarily make them relative. Relative. I'm sorry. I gotta focus. I gotta pay attention to how I say this, right? Here's the thing. Like I said, Uriel, don't know if you've seen my video on the Naruto versus durability, right? When we're talking about chakra, we're talking about an energy source that comes from your stamina, and it's converted to chakra. Right? So that would make stamina and chakra a 1-to-1. As much stamina as you have is as much chakra that you have. When chakra is being manipulated, right, throughout the body, it can be used for certain tasks. The one task that we've never seen chakra used for, though, is the increasement of durability. Now, people like to play games with me and say, well, Ab-Stract, when Sakura puts chakra to her fist, she's increasing her durability because she's hitting a rock and her fist isn't hurting. I hate that example so much because it's like we're playing semantics. You know what I'm saying when I say increased durability, right? And I say this in the video. Just because she puts chakra to her fist and is able to punch a rock, that one thing is not mutually inclusive with increasing that person's overall durability. And people will play games with me as well. It's durability. Stop it. We know what I'm talking about. So that's number one thing, right? And then we get to actual ninjutsu. So I'll say that later. So we get to ninjutsu, right? Chakra is taken into the body. Chakra is in the body, right? It's molded via hand signs, or it's molded via whatever method you're using to mold it. It goes through a process, and then it gets either a nature, shape, or form transformation, which makes said thing stronger. This is confirmed by Kakashi when he's teaching Naruto to use the Rasen shirt, or teaching Naruto to make a new jutsu. So it goes through a process to become stronger, right? Now, we'll have varying levels of ninjutsu that people can use, but since it goes through a process of becoming this thing that we call a jutsu, you're not going to scale to it inherently or automatically. You're not going to scale to it inherently or automatically, right? And then on the other flip side, people weaker than you, since you're not using that chakra internally to increase your durability, since chakra is an amp and not a stat gauge, simply having chakra in your body doesn't make you stronger. So you get things where like fodder people can kill named people. So no, while everyone is relative, yes, not everyone is relative. So like it's a yes and a no, with it being more yes, in the sense that they can all hurt each other. But using Naruto logic, of course not everyone is as skilled as one another. So they can all hurt each other though. That's the bottom line of this whole thing. And then you'll have people say, oh, well, Kaguya was going to explode because she had too much chakra, so therefore chakra equals durability. And then I have to explain to them, when there's too much water in a pipe, it bursts. Not because the water has too much AP, but because the internal pressure of the pipe can't sustain that much water. If you were to take that same amount of water and pour it on yourself, you would be absolutely fine. Right? Yeah. And then they think, oh, well, I mean, oh, they don't have anything to say against that because it makes fucking sense, right? So, having a lot of chakra really just means having a big reserve of water. Think of chakra like water. Having a big pool of chakra is literally just having a big pool of water that you can pull from. It doesn't do anything for your internal durability, and it doesn't scale to your attacks or your AP or anything like that. Stamina becomes chakra. The chakra gets molded, goes through a process to become ninjutsu. That becomes your AP. That becomes your AP. Hope all that made sense. I'm going to clip that later too. I be going off sometimes. Kai says to equal Toji's statement was before her fight with cursed Naoya. You keep saying Naruto. Is it? I thought it was Naoya. After her moment with the sword and sumo sorcerers, she leveled up. It's also worth mentioning Sukuna made sure to get her out of the fight fast because he deemed her the biggest threat after Gojo's death. That's crazy. Regrets it says, so yeah, yes, but that's the Toji who said himself. He's rusty. Okay, y'all having JJ Cake talk. Alright. Uriel says, then outside of characters like Sakura, everyone has to scale to the most consistent necessary minimum. So building level around Mach 11. Alright. Yes and no. Yes and no. Here's the thing, and I'm not doing all this for you because you're asking great questions, and I love pontificating upon these things because it really shows that I put in the work, I do the research. I'm not just up here. I'm not just up here lying to you guys or yapping. So yeah, you said then outside of characters like Sakura, everyone has to scale to the most consistent necessary minimum. So building level around and Mach 11. Again, yes and no. Yes and no, yes and no, yes and no, yes and no. The fact that you don't have to scale to whatever the output is of another ninja, and you could potentially kill them with a weaker output jutsu, means it doesn't necessitate it having to be building level AP. Right? And it's a shame that I don't have any direct examples for the cast itself. Yeah, I don't have any direct examples for the cast itself because a lot of the cast doesn't really interact. Like, a lot of them will usually use anything other than their actual bodies to tank damage. So that's the unfortunate part about that whole thing. And even when I start doing the research for Kakashi, I'm not going to lie to you, Uriel. it's going to be a struggle to get him above building level durability. It's going to be a struggle. Durability, mind you. It's going to be a struggle. Not AP. I think his AP can get above there, especially with Raikiri. I think his AP can get above there. His physical body is going to be a problem. His physical body is going to be a problem. Like, if I scroll down a little bit more, if I remember correctly, oh, actually, he actually does have a good, well, I mean, even this is kind of a good feat because these are only chakra arms he's cutting. Right? But even when we get into the war arc where he's fighting Obito, all Obito uses is two big shurikens to cut him, and it works. Oh, man. Yeah. But good questions, Uriel. I like these questions. It's just really annoying with Naruto. And then people will accuse me of being hating, or people will accuse me of downplaying and hating. But I'm really just being extremely thorough, and people don't get it. But you got to be thorough, or else you're going to be like these other creators and put out misinformation. You're going to lie. Now, I will say this about myself. I could be more charitable. That's something I got to work on, though. Mind you, I'm battling years of Wank. I'm battling years of Uni Sakura. I'm battling years of low multi-complex Naruto. So forgive me if I'm not charitable, right? But there is a whole foundation of shit that has been piled up that I have to hack away at day by day, brick by brick. All right. Crackheads are the metahumans of the hood, to be honest. Facts. Can we prove Amaterasu would hurt Jigen or at least worked at the same speed? Can we prove Amaterasu would have hurt Jigen or at least worked at the same speed? Can we prove it? I mean, through scaling, yeah. I mean, like, here's the thing. Jigen had to block Sasuke's sword swing that didn't even have lightning style enhancing it. Do you think Amaterasu is less potent than an unenhanced lightning style sword swing? Like, you do understand, Jigen didn't die right away from the flames. He stood in the flames for a hot minute. He just didn't, he didn't die right away from the flames. He absorbed Amaterasu right away. This is the only difference in these things. Maki also tanked 2 black flashes from 19 figure Suguna before the 3rd black flash finally knocked her out. Toshiro didn't freeze the abstract concept of reflection. He just stopped the sword's power. Would you agree that reflection, or would you agree that damage is a concept? You would have to, because you can't show me damage physically. You can show me like a descriptor of damage, like what it would represent, but the thing exists in the mind. So it would be an abstract concept because it's not something physical you can show me. You can show me what you would call the process or the after effects of it, but you can't show me damage. So it is a concept. He did freeze the sword that imbued that concept. So this would be incorrect. What we researching, pro? Hey, what's good, JJ? How you doing, bro? You've been out the loop for a minute, bro. How are you? All right. What were we researching? We are researching Toshiro versus Kakashi. Research for that, basically. I need to find, where is the next part that where is it at? 566. Oh no. Oh yeah, that's right. I gotta go over here now. I think I got enough for Kakashi as far as like his jutsu and stuff. I don't think stamina is going to be a factor, honestly. What was that chapter called? 688. Toshiro broke Gerard's sword with no miracle drawback. Exactly, but he doesn't think that's conceptual because he doesn't think reflection is a concept. Don't know how you don't think that. Excuse me. Hoffnung is stated to be the conceptual embodiment of hopes and of the masses. Hey, Mugetsu, I wouldn't even go that route until Core 4 because Gerard might be embellishing on that. But one thing he's not lying about is that sword's ability to reflect damage. Naruto logic means everyone has this. And what specifically are you talking about as far as everyone has this? I know I'm late too, by the guys. That's my fault. I took a while explaining that, but I like being as clear as possible for you guys. Also, the other Quincy's clearly got less confident with their expression after Hoffnung broke, despite not even knowing it broke. I didn't know that. I'm have to see that. So no Quincy at all could ever feel hope from that point on. That's a hilarious question. Unless they have the Almighty or the antithesis, no. The Quincy's without the A-Shrift lost hope after it. After Hoffnung broke, Hashwalt conceded and let Udiu win. Ab-Stract, do you think about this interpretation? Oh, Ab-Stract, what do you think about this interpretation? After Hoffnung broke, Hashwalt conceded. Do you think this seemingly random shift in outlook had to do with Hoffnung being destroyed? Yes, I'm going to have to wait until Core 4 fleshes that out more, honestly. It's a good theory. If we had more people than just Hashwalt, I think we could consider it. But right now, I like at least three examples to consider something consistent to where it's like, all right, cool, we can, put that in the file. You know what I mean? How the fuck is he a rival to Guy if they cannot interact with each other's moveset? At some point, the story can't provide answers to thorough raises, which result in the text being broken. If they cannot interact with each other's moveset. Yeah, so, and that's, like, it's weird, though, right? Because we've never seen Kakashi and Guy fight. We've never, like, in most ninja fights, they're not going to go all out. You can be rivals and spar and not go all out. I truly do believe, though, Guy is whooping the shit out of Kakashi's ass in 7th Gate. Like, here's the thing. Kakashi's going to survive 7th Gate Guy because he's more crafty. Not because he actually scales to Guy's speed or power. Simply because, what? Kakashi is a better ninja than Guy. Right? So Kakashi's going to have shadow clones, lightning clones, mud walls. He'll be going underground and doing all this fancy shit. This does not mean Kakashi would scale to that Guy, though, right? All Kakashi has to be able to do in this instance is have his reaction speed be up to par to be able to react to Guy. That's all he would need. But this wouldn't mean he would scale to Guy. But this is what I'm talking about, too. This is what I'm talking about. Kakashi could just be a better ninja. Well, not even just be. I do believe Kakashi is a better ninja than Guy. He has more tools at his disposal. Even though Guy is a monster, he's only a monster with taijutsu. And as long as you can outlast the 7th Gate, he'll get more repercussions from using it. Excuse me. Oh, I didn't even fucking kill you. Oh well. He'll get more repercussions from using it than Kakashi would from just kind of stalling Guy out. I think the rival statement was mainly referring to them base to base. Like, I stand by building level durability and mock living speed, but we see crazy feats from characters like Sakura and Guy, where characters like Asami, the chakra motion fraud, don't pink, missed on hit. What crazy feats do you mean from Sakura? I hope we're not talking about Kaguya. Guy is great. Guy is great, not just because of his 8th gate, of course. The 8 inner gates, like mastering the 8 inner gates, is probably the closest one will get to an overall at least 2 times amp. We can probably even call it a 5 times amp. Mastering the 8 inner gates, probably getting up to the 7th gate, is the best we will get to an overall 2 to 5 times amp in all your stats. I think I could say that. Like every stat except for durability, because we even see that the pressure of the gates is way too much for the body. This isn't overloading on chakra. This is the energy being too much for the body to handle. Big difference in that. And then I gotta play with the semantics of that. Oh well, how's it different than overloading on chakra? Well, because the energy he's emitting, his body literally can't. His body's breaking under the pressure of it. It's not a quantity thing at this point. It is a density thing. Not density. What's the word? Not density. It's a mass thing. Well, yeah, it's a density thing. It's a density thing at that point. But yeah, so you said, like I said, building level durability and Mach living speed. Kind of, bro. Kind of. Like, yes and no. So Kuma definitely can't. So Kuma definitely can reject concepts then, since he can remove damage, pain, fatigue, memories, anything that his pulse rejects. Yes, absolutely fucking yes. I had this conversation with Twin Trip. I had this conversation with my twin. Kuma can push out the concept of pain. What? Come on, that's fucking crazy. And I think he can push out memories too. Memories aren't physical things. They might exist in the hippocampus part of the brain, but you can't pull out a memory. Kuma can. So yeah, Kuma's ability, like, Kuma could push Amaterasu off of him. Yes, he could. Number one, just because he can move it. That's number one. But number two, his ability has shown to work on a higher conceptual level than Amaterasu. Right? So yeah, Kuma could definitely push Amaterasu off of him. Mugetsu, I agree. Facts. Uriel says the whole verse has this tissue paper durability. Hey yo, oh fucking goddamn these gnats, bro. Alright. Fucking where do they keep coming from? Blowing the shit out of me, bro. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. God damn, man. Can't do nothing. Goddamn gnats. Yeah, Uriel, go check out my Naruto versus durability video. I'm actually going to be probably making a follow-up to that about Naruto chakra not equaling stats, because that seems to be the more prevalent issue. And excuse me. Now they're fucking everywhere. I don't know where these fucking bugs are coming from. Pissing me off. Anyways, Naruto chakra equaling stats seems to be the more prevalent issue. And if I cut that off at the roots, then it necessarily would follow that chakra doesn't equal durability and all this other thing. So yeah, might be doing that too. We'll see. I'm more saying that their showings are visually impressive. Okay, yeah. But see, yeah, Naruto has always been a flashy series, though. You know what I mean? It's always been about showing how impressive the feats are and stuff like that. And I know you talked about in the Discord joules per centimeter cubed, right? And how you can find your misgivings with joules per centimeter cubed. But it makes total fucking sense. It, like, to a science, it makes sense, and it's bore out in the feats as well. You can literally see these things, right? Like for example, wide ranged attacks don't really do well against the Susanoo. You know what really does well against the Susanoo? Focus attacks. Kaguya's ash bone. Jigen's little body with his kick breaking through the helm of the Susanoo. Because the Susanoo's durability isn't the entire Susanoo. No, it's each individual part that you choose to attack. Think of Raikage punching with Onoki on him through the Susanoo. That's a good example too. But then you'll have large attacks like Naruto's Rasen Shuriken, Big Rasengan, which does nothing to the Susanoo. It makes perfect sense. You'll have attacks like Naruto's Rasen Shuriken on the Raikage, which he's weak to lightning style. Oh wait, is he weak to lightning style? Yeah, wind style beats lightning style. Yeah. You'll have that attack do nothing to that Raikage, because the energy per cubic centimeter the attack was so damn big, right? It had a lot of total energy, but with the volume and all that other stuff, like the total volume and area and all that other stuff, it takes away from the actual AP because now you're spreading out all that energy over the area of the attack. So it's not impressive anymore. Then you go to another verse where you can survive the high ends of vaporization. Attacks like that aren't doing nothing to them. They're literally no-selling the Rasen Shuriken, simply based on the fact that it didn't even cause vaporization, and the energy per cubic centimeter is too weak to even injure them. DK Umar. That's kind of hard. Excuse me. People on it scale Naruto to Boundless and scale Ichigo to Small Planet. Ain't that a goddamn shame? You'll have people scale Naruto to Boundless, but Ichigo is only planetary. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. The verse that can die by stabby stab kunai. The verse that has to use everything other than their physical body. The verse that can only be... The verse that really only gets impressive when we get to the war arc, honestly. As far as AP. Yeah, but they'll have Ichigo being planetary. Outrageous. Outrageous. I wonder if he can reject life from someone. Ooh, that'd be fire. Kuma pacifist, so he wouldn't do it, but nothing stops him from doing it. Yeah, actually, that'd be fire, though. There's some people that downplay Bleach to hill level. Yeah. Saying hill level Bleach just really shows your ignorance to AP. It shows your ignorance to AP, and it shows your hypocrisy to the feats of Naruto. Because guess what? Most of your average Biju Bomb aren't hill level. They're not mountain level AP. Most of them are not. Most of them are city block levels to large building levels, joules per centimeter cubed. To get rid of the gnats, get you a glass of jar, poke holes in it, the lid, and pour some apple cider vinegar in it. It'll trap the gnats inside and drown them. It's an old country trick my uncle taught me. We might have to do that because it might be the rain that's making them come in, but I feel like they're just more prevalent since that fucking rain started. Yeah, we might gotta do that. Alright, let's get into DMS Kakashi. I'm gonna read a few more, then we're gonna get into DMS Kakashi. Oh, well, this is all we got. Okay, cool. I think the pawpaw fruit is one of my favorite fruits that would be absolutely trashed in some people's hands. It's good for Kuma because how creative he thinks about rejecting. Yeah, the pawpaw fruit is like low-key broken. That's why I like devil fruit so much as a power system. Two people with the exact same fruit can be completely different tiers of power depending on their own creativity. True. The Rasen Shuriken is thousands of rotating blades attacking the cells. So here's the thing. For it to attack the cells, it actually has to breach your body. If it's not breaching your body, it's not attacking the cells. A Rasen Shuriken does absolute shit to Yamamoto, to Goku, to Ichigo, to Kenpachi. It doesn't do anything to these characters because it's not going to be able to breach their body. And then why would we presume that the cells of a human would be the same cells as a spiritual being? I don't even want to go that route. Let's just do who's stronger. Why would the cells of Kakuzu, who doesn't even scale to his own energy, mind you, be as strong as Kenpachi? Why would that be the case? Since we want to talk about novels, Kenpachi has a feat of tanking his internal organs getting damaged with spirit energy. Why would Rasen Shuriken hurt him? Since we want to talk about novels. Right. I obviously don't expect the answer back. I'm just kind of performing right now, obviously. I agree, Mugetsu. We see that case before already. OP powers about creativity and not just power sets. It was only shown to do that once. Every other instance of it using it's just a glorified hand grenade. The downplay of A's durability is weird. What you mean? A has good durability. Well, like, what do you mean? Like, when he's using his lightning cloak or when he's not using his lightning cloak? When are you talking about? The Raikages have decent durability. I mean, it's not nothing special, mind you. Like, they can still die to regular things. It's not nothing special, but they have better durability than people in Naruto. Also, Trip, you gotta calm down. People scale Bleach to low multiversal on a minimum. Bleach got more leeway than Naruto. That's a fact. So here's the thing, though. At the very least, and I'm not condoning this, but if one of the verses is going to be scaled that high, it would have to be Bleach, just based on the lore of the series, the actual power system of the series, and all the other factors. When people scale Naruto that high, they are being disingenuous. Because it all starts with Kaguya and her supposedly blowing up her own goddamn dimension, which we don't have a time frame for, which we don't have a destruction for. She used other people's energy to do it, number two, and all these other factors that are unknown. And then the misappropriation, of course, of chakra equaling stats. Oh, Naruto blitzed chakra, Naruto blitzed Kaguya and ripped off her arm. He has to scale to her. Prove that Kaguya scales to her chakra, motherfucker. Prove that first before you start going around spouting Naruto scales to her. And yes, in some weird way, well, not even some weird way. Like I said, all you have to do is overcome the durability of a person, not their chakra. Nowhere in the series is it stated, suggested, or shown that your chakra actually equals your stats, or especially your durability. So yeah, Bleach scaling that high, mind you, I don't condone it. Well, I'll say this. I actually haven't made a determination on it because I haven't scaled the series from top to bottom. But Bleach actually scaling that high has a lot more evidence and a lot more credence, so I give it more leeway. Right? The same way where if Luffy does something crazy to Imu, if Imu ends up being like a fucking demigod who can actually do some crazy shit and he's out here destroying planets and eating stars and affecting the cosmology, we're going to give it to Luffy. We will, because One Piece has at least been consistent about who can hurt who, the versus durability, hockey power-ups, hockey amp. It's been consistent with that. I can say that, right? I can say that. Your boy Naruto, on the other hand, not looking too good, champ. Based purely on the innate ability we all know Arrancar have. Oh wait, I might have missed something. Hidan versus them random Arrancars Naruto was killing in his backstory with Nelliel. Hey, the random Arrancars are, boy, what? Based purely on the innate ability we all know Arrancar have. Yeah, no, Hidan ain't doing nothing with no Arrancar. Well, I agree that joules per centimeter cube works well for calcs, but it's only survivable in Naruto because no one healthy chain scales. What do you mean? What do you mean it's only survivable in Naruto? Joules per centimeter cube doesn't work in a verse that actually has a functional universal energy system that amps your stats. It works in Hunter x Hunter too because the feats in that are like Naruto's. No. It works in Bleach. It works. Joules per centimeter cube works very well in Bleach. It does. So here's the thing. We don't just rely on calcs, right? You need calcs, feats, and that will get you the overall scaling. That'll get you the overall scaling. It's not just a single component. Like for example, in the video that I'm working on right now, right? I ran into something where Eterad did a feat that calced about as high as a feat that Grimmjow did, right? But obviously Grimmjow is stronger, many times stronger than Eterad. So, and mind you, this is me being loose here because, like I said, I haven't scaled the series from top to bottom. So, we would use Eterad's feat as a base. We would use, well, this is what I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm using Eterad's feat as a base. And mind you, since we're talking about Toshiro who fights Hollybell, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take the 10 times multiplier for the Seto Ascudas and apply it to Grimmjow's feat. That might not sound like it makes total sense now, but when you actually see the video and hear it, you'll be like, oh, that's what he meant by that. And it'll make total sense because we're looking for Toshiro scaling, but Haribel doesn't have any feats. So who's the next person with the best feat? It'd technically be Ukiyoda, but I was looking for more AP, so I went with Grimmjow destroying the big-ass columns, right? Grimmjow destroys the columns with his Pera de Lentera or something like that. It's like the size of a finger, mind you, and it destroys a 30-meter column. Destroys it. I think that came out to, if I remember correctly, that came out to around, like 1 kiloton. But Ichigo was hit with 5 of them, and all 5 of them were small enough to transfer the total energy to him. So I was like, well, okay. Obviously, since Grimmjow is stronger than Eterard, we can't have them both having the same feat, obviously, right? So, like I said, I took the 10 times multiplier for the Seto Ascudas, something Grimmjow can actually do because he is an Espada. And mind you, that's not even his strongest Seto. The strongest Seto would be the Grand Ray Seto, right? And applied that to the feat that he performed with the finger thingy. Now, it didn't get the feat too much crazier, but for the conversation I'm having with Kakashi, it's enough. I don't need to go harder. It's enough. It's a bare minimum feat. It's what I would like to call an anchor feat, actually, right? And anchor feats are really just feats that happen that we would say, okay, cool. Anything that comes after this, based on the scaling of the story, is at least this strong. X above, X stronger than this. It's at least this strong, though. That's how we would do anchor feats. Another example. There's a feat during the Fullbring arc from Jackie Tristan, where she destroys a whole column with air pressure. That's going to be crazy once I get into that. And then that will be my new anchor feat, because that's coming from fucking Jackie Tristan, a fodder. Jackie Tristan is destroying a 30-foot column with air pressure. You know how impressive that is? And it's coming from the AoE of a kick that was blocked by Renji. So most of the energy was absorbed into Renji and went past him, but still had enough force to knock down a column. So once I get the numbers on that will be the new anchor feat. But for the purposes of Kakashi versus Toshiro, I don't have to go higher than town level. I really don't. I don't have to go higher than city block level to kill Kakashi. I really don't. Catch you all later. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Yours truly, Highness Zoro. Stay blessed. How strong would Prime Rayo be back when he went by the name Adonais? Whatever, probably the strongest rating you can give a character. Because from the primeval waters, he technically created reality. Because during that time, you could say time didn't actually exist. Based on how Ichibe phrases the primeval waters. He said it was stagnation, but there was also generation, but there was really no generation. So it was kind of like a state of nothingness going on. But as soon as the Soul King comes up, he changes the entire status quo of reality. He implements time. He implements the boundaries being the Dangai, the precipice world, and Waco, why am I blanking on it? The Garganta, right? He more than likely created the Kotetsus. He divided the cycle between life and death. So whatever the highest rating is, you would probably attribute that to him. Unless there's like a rating I don't know about, like, I don't know, like fucking 12th D or something like that. Since we want to talk about novels, we can include Naruto characters surviving space, but Kenpachi was dying. Why would we believe he's more durable? All right, so surviving space has everything to do with your biology and not your durability, Karibo. That's like saying mermaids can breathe underwater, but you can't, Dylan. Is the mermaid now more durable because its biology allows it to breathe underwater? No. I don't know where you would think in any world that's something that we would ever like say as a fact. Yeah, no. Uriel says Bleach's cosmology level because all of the characters are ethereal beings that directly manipulate each other's souls through soul damage attacks. It's like Shin Megami Tensei where concepts fight. I like that. One Smart says Bleach scaling that high doesn't fit the lore. So it doesn't fit the lore that Yuha, who absorbed the Soul King and now can manipulate the fabric of reality, it doesn't scale that Ichigo can use his power to kill him. Like his physical power, like his Getsuga Tensho and his sword. That doesn't fit for you. Ichigo didn't kill a being that can affect the entire cosmology. How does that not scale for you? I'm confused. And before that, Ichigo actually killed the Soul King with his power again. The previous one holding all the realms together. How does this not scale for you? I really don't get it. One Smart, Kenpachi wasn't dying from space because he can't breathe in space. He was dying because Gremmy was imagining he couldn't breathe in space. But even if that's not the case, Mugetsu, because I'm not too sure if that is true or not. I really don't like. I don't really care if Soul Reapers can or cannot breathe in space. That's a non-factor to durability. That has nothing to do with durability. Like I said, that has everything to do with biology. Let's say he can't breathe in fucking space. This does not now mean people that can breathe in space are more durable than Kenpachi. That's not how it works. I don't know where we're getting this stuff from. Speaking of Emu, he can grant full-blown immortality, and Haki can negate it. So immortal beings, look out. He can do that? So what type of immortality is he granting? And we still have to... We're still waiting on people to do actual soul damage in your verse, Red. So when you say immortality, I presume you mean their physical bodies. Well, over here, we have something called soul cutters, also known as Zanpakuto. And if you die by those things, you're staying dead. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Proof Kenpachi can breathe in outer space. Yeah, see, Mugetsu, I wouldn't even take that route. But if you have proof for it, definitely go ahead. Just so you don't forget, Ab-Stract, it's called a gnat trap. I got you, bro. Yeah, thank you, Kai. I think I'm going to get that tomorrow, probably after work, because this storm got them feeling themselves, and they think they can just invade my space whenever they want. Very annoying. One Smart, we already seen Bleach characters do that. The Garganta has no atmosphere or gravity, and Bleach characters are just fine in there. I wouldn't take that route, Mugetsu. I mean, I wouldn't take that route. Is what it is. I wouldn't take that route. I mean, I really wouldn't use that argument, but it's okay. You know. Uriel says, I have a working theory that the fights in Bleach aren't even literally happening the way we see them. Like the battles are visual metaphors for the way their souls ethereally battle invisibly. That's dope. That would be fire. It would almost be like in X-Men, how Jean Grey and Xavier battle on the mental plane and like, I don't know if you've seen Legion. Have you seen Legion? If you remember, if you've seen Legion, the way the Shadow Man fights and the way David fight, it's usually through song and dance, like rhythm and action and stuff. They're not really fighting with telekinesis, with powers, with mind control. It's through battles of dance. It's actually really tough. I like that theory. That's a nice theory. That's not outer space. Okay, it has the exact same properties. It is legit a vacuum. No, it doesn't. Naruto's anchor feats seem to be so trash. Yeah. So, like, the thing is this. Because the way the power system works, you can't just assert one anchor feat scales to another. That's not how it works. And that's what really makes it trash and annoying. Like Naruto has, so like the Naruto feats are dependent upon the character, kind of like what I've been saying, right? So we know for a fact that Naruto's Rasengan can do X thing. So any stronger version of an attack at least has the power of a Rasengan. But we can't say that about Konohamaru's Rasengan. We can't. We can't say that about Boruto's Rasengan. We can't. Obviously take away the fact that Naruto has X amount more chakra than them. The fact that they don't scale to their attacks is the big problem. The fact that chakra control has to be implemented before your attack becomes as powerful as it can be is a big problem. Right? Like in Bleach, when they were at in the Fake Katakura Town arc and Gentei Kaijo wasn't active, and there was a direct correlation between Gentei Kaijo being activated and their stats going through the fucking roof. That's all I'm asking for in Naruto. Show me a very great example of when you have no chakra. Well, no, I'm not asking for that because it's already too late. The way the power system is going, it's not going to happen. But, that's something we would expect to see if chakra did in fact equal stats, right? We would be expecting people with more chakra to perform a lot better than people with less chakra. This is not the case. All throughout Naruto's life, he's had 4 times more chakra than Kakashi, yet Kakashi was always inferior to Naruto up until a certain point, and that point was until Naruto mastered the Rasen Shuriken and beat and one-shot Kakuzu. And even that point, you could debate Kakashi was still a better ninja. But this was him saying Naruto surpassed him. But you can probably debate that as, oh, that's my student, he surpassed me. It's not like legitimate. Another great example, one I always like to use. Ichigo couldn't do shit with first release Ukiyoda. Masked or unmasked, he couldn't do anything with him. It took for Ichigo to die. Resurrect as his hollow form, which isn't guaranteed 10 times amp to his stats and reiatsu, to be able to compete with Ukiyoda. Before that moment, Ichigo followed a fully powered holified Getsuga at him, and Ukiyoda stood there as if it was fucking raining. Walked right through it. Why? Because at that time, Ichigo's reiatsu levels were not up to par with Ukiyoda's. Funny how that works, right? And then there's countless examples of this in the story. So yeah, anchor feats in Naruto are character dependent. They're dependent upon the character doing them, and they apply to the character. 2 Chidoris of equal chakra are not the same Chidori, because one might have better control. One might make their Chidori actually sharper in shape transformation. That might affect it. You know what I mean? 2 Chidoris of equal chakra are not the same thing. 2 ninja of equal chakra. And then you know what? It actually gets even crazier when you factor in this. Like, look at this. I thought about this a while ago. I was like, yo, Sakura had the best chakra control. Yet, she was still inferior to Naruto and Sasuke. So, she was really good at putting chakra to her feet, but she was slower than both of them. Logically, she should have been faster than both of them because she had better chakra control. But then you have to factor in this as well. It's not just chakra control and chakra amount. You also have to factor in the physical character's innate, oh my God, I was cooking. I messed up. You also have to factor in the actual character's innate ability, right? So, if Naruto is naturally 5 times faster than Sakura, let's do this. If Naruto is naturally 10 times faster than Sakura running speed, and Sakura uses her great chakra control to get 2 times faster, she'd still be 5 times slower than Naruto's natural running speed with his shitty chakra control. So it's not simply chakra control in amount makes you better than someone, because we have to take into account your innate ability, right? And this makes it even more convoluted, because how the fuck are we supposed to know who's more naturally gifted as a shinobi? Well, we can't. So we have to just go back to basing it based off of, okay, who performs what feat and how do they do it? Who performs what feat? And we have to analyze each character's feat, each character's feat, each character's feat. And it gets really like, all right, this is kind of crazy. So I kind of understand why Naruto does a lot of team battles. Because team battles take away from that individuality. If you had to justify every character's ability based on chakra control, your series would go on forever. Because each individual person you want to showcase would need a good showing of chakra control and a showing of X feat. But if you have all these people fight together, well, it gives it an illusion of relativity at that point. It's like, oh, well, you see Kakashi, Naruto, and B and Guy all fighting the Bijujin Jinchuriki. They must scale together. That's not how it would work. We have to look at and that's why I analyzed each panel. That's why I have to do this with Naruto. I have to analyze each panel, what's going on in that panel, and then where does people actually fall in line with the scaling. Because we've seen Orochimaru, a one-on-one, great showing. Didn't have a problem with the four tails. Or six tails. Four tails. He didn't have a problem with the four tails, and his arms were sealed. That was a nice showing. Up until the Biju Bomb, at least. Then he had to get out of there. But then Kakashi and Guy are both getting knocked back by a single Biju. And Kakashi couldn't even use his Raikiri to punch through the Biju's chakra cloak. Which is also why I hold that chakra cloak will be always more durable than Naruto's KCM form. Just throwing that out there. Oh man, y'all got me cooking tonight. Yeah, we good. I'm cooking tonight. Ab-Stract. Kribo out here trying to say Don Guy has an atmosphere. No, the Don Guy does not have an atmosphere, Kribo. I don't know where you got that. The Garganta is full of reishi. They use it to make the footholds. That's true. Yes, the Garganta is full of reishi. Atmosphere, no. Uriel says, next fight should be a Jujutsu Kaisen versus Naruto fight. Their speed and hack styles are similar. Yeah, honestly, yeah. Jujutsu Kaisen versus Naruto and Hunter x Hunter versus Naruto is something I would actually do. Alright, let's get the Dual Mangekyo Sharingan Kakashi. So, yeah, Kaguya's Vacuum Fist are actually one of the only attacks that have this much AoE, but affect the Susanoo to the degree that it does. Yeah, because she punches the damn thing right off of him. So this would tell us that even though these have big AoE, the Susanoo itself is big AoE. So think of these punches scaling almost to the Susanoo itself. It'd be like taking body shots to a giant, basically. So it actually does make sense why it's falling apart. And just to not even harp on this, because if these punches were too small, yes, she'd be able to punch through it a lot easier, but she wouldn't dissipate the actual avatar of Susanoo. Alright. So we got Naruto doing every style of Rasen Shuriken. Some of these are just useless. Like the magnet one is more than likely utterly useless. This ink one is probably more than likely utterly useless. We have a bubble Rasen Shuriken. Not sure what that's going to do to someone. Alright. So she's transforming. Her Biju goes wild. Okay. Now, people always like to say, I'm just going to attack this now. People always like to say, yeah, Sakura dodged Kaguya. And these are the type of people you have to watch out for. Because this is not, when we get to it, this is not a Kaguya attack. What preceded this? Well, Naruto hit her with several Rasen Shuriken. She explodes, right? Took damage clearly from it. And she is losing control. Right? She's losing control. Now, also, pay attention to how far above the ground this thing is. Pay attention to how far above the ground this goddamn thing is. It's kind of hard to get an actual shot. This isn't a bad one. But it's not great, but it's not bad. Alright, are the biju within her resonating in response to Naruto's attack and starting to split apart? They're certainly not stable. So yeah, Naruto's attack, let's just assume Naruto's attack causes them to split apart because the chakra resonates with each other. Cool. Notice how far up they are. They come for Naruto. Naruto's clone has to push. It looks like him and Sasuke out the way. And all Naruto's clones get blitzed. Naruto says, Sasuke, don't let that white hand grab you. It'll absorb you in an instant and it's super fast. He says, I know. Now, number one, this is not a Kaguya attack. Even though Naruto is calling it fast, this does not all of a sudden make it a Kaguya attack. I keep saying Kaguya. A Kaguya attack. Number two, Sakura is the furthest person away from this goddamn thing, so she had the most time to react. She does react, starts running from it, and gets saved by Kakashi because she's about to get grabbed. So when people try and lie to you and say, Kaguya attacked Sakura, that's a blatant fucking lie. The Ten Tails was flailing and attacking anything that it could. Fast or not, it's not an attack from Kaguya, and Sakura was the furthest away and had the most time to react. Let's get into the Susanoo. So the Susanoo is able to save her. Very nice. Master Kakashi, you watch along with me. Thanks, Obito. No way, that's impossible. Well, they do call him the copy ninja Kakashi of the Sharingan. Nice one, Master. But he couldn't have the Sharingan anymore, as this time I will protect them and the world. So so he gets a mastered, perfect Susanoo right off the bat. Now, I'll voice my concerns about Kakashi versus Toshiro while I'm doing this as well. So we have Naruto, Sasuke, all his clones, and Sakura and Kakashi inside of his Susanoo. Here it comes. Mind you, they're a good distance away, so everyone should have ample time to react to these quote-unquote fast arms. Before I get into it, let's read. Gremmy's imagination literally created a vacuum out of Reishi. What is there to misunderstand? Oh, I'm far behind. Oh yeah, I got you, Moo. I'm gonna send it to you, bro. I'm gonna send you the server link. Okay, here I am. Vacuums have nothing. One smart in Bleach they do. Everything is Reishi. Then it doesn't have a vacuum. In Bleach they do. Space exists in Bleach. Everything in Bleach has Reishi. Bleach's world has a slightly different set of physics, considering Rukia can create absolute zero, which is scientifically impossible in our world. In fact, Rukia can go beyond absolute zero. Yo, don't forget to send me the server link. I got you, bro. Invite Karibo too. We need the cute, fluffy. You gotta chill out, man. Invite Karibo too. We need a cute, fluffy mascot. That's hilarious. A vacuum is the absence of things. Is it though? I have to Google that. I'll have to actually Merriam-Webster's that. In reality, in Bleach, Reishi can exist when there's nothing in a space. Gremmy's imagination literally created a vacuum of Reishi. What is there to misunderstand? Ab-Stract, to make it fair, we should put the Gente Kaiju during the Kakashi fight. Ooh. Yeah, you're right. We actually should. We'll see about that. First of all, I wasn't making it One Piece versus Bleach, but now you're getting smoked. Zanpakuto do not actually kill you, since the balance of souls is a thing. Every Arrancar killed by a Zanpakuto is in hell. No, you're actually incorrect. I don't know where you got that from. Or actually, hold on. Let me reread that first. You said Zanpakuto do not actually kill you, since the balance of souls is a thing. Every Arrancar killed by a Zanpakuto is in hell. Well, no, not every Arrancar. Not every Arrancar. The ones that committed treasonous sins, yes, they're in hell. Yeah. But I don't know what you mean by Zanpakuto don't kill you. Zanpakuto can absolutely kill you. I think you're confusing the soul funeral with being sent, like actually being killed. You can actually be killed. Where was I? Oh yeah. The reishi would be something creating a vacuum. It's simply empty space. Also, time existed since hollows existed back then when Rhea was around. So I'm not saying time didn't exist. I'm saying, well, no, I am saying time didn't exist based on the fact that Ichibe says, or Ichibe alludes to the fact that there was only stagnation and nothing was changing. Time is a product of change. Things happening and moving from one place to the next. The world didn't change. It was stagnated. He said they could have been there from anywhere from 10,000 years to 100 million years. He's basically alluding to time not starting until the Soul King enacted change within the world. That's what's basically being said. Yes, you can say time existed because the story has to be told and you can't really tell the story if time didn't exist. Yes, but the overall conveyance is that time wasn't really a thing until the Soul King did what he did. Night, y'all. Hey, take it easy, Kai. Hell, even in our world, the fact that we can see inside of clear vacuum tubes means light is trapped in there for our eyes to see. Light cannot escape a vacuum, but it can exist within it. Incorporeal matter can exist in a vacuum. Regrets, do you have any examples of Bleach characters in outer space? Kenpachi, and he was dying, lol. He was dying because Gremmy imagined experienced explosive decompression. There's not really any evidence that would happen without Gremmy imagining it. He can do that, but can't simply kill him. He probably can, but Gremmy wanted an actual fight. Ichigo, Rio. I can't read that. Hey, what's good, Red? What's good, Godflow? How you doing, bro? Nice to have you in the chat. Yo. Ab-Stract. People glaze this Sakura feat, but downplay Urahime's barrier, stopping your direct attack from the Soul King. Exactly. Fucking pick and choosing, bro. Pick and choosing. Okay. People glazed. Oh yeah, I read that. It's fucked up that Kakashi has building level durability, regardless when he's 6 past amped. Ugh, I know, I know, and I like. Believe me, I probably hate it more than. Well, no, I don't hate it more than anyone. But I'm definitely going to be the guy that tells you what it is. Yeah, sadly, that is the case. Sadly, that is the case. Bro, I don't get this. He wants to kill Kenny, but doesn't want to kill Kenny. Mugetsu, it's okay to be wrong. All these Olympic level gymnastics is crazy. People act like Urahime was throwing hands with Soul King Yuha. She didn't need to be throwing hands with him. All she had to do was be able to react to and actually block his attacks. The attack barriers. What's up, gang? Yeah, what's good, bro? How you doing? So she was fast enough to react and had high enough reiatsu to stop the attack. This is true. Did Urahime ever hurt Yuha? Zanbakuto do not kill. They have to maintain balance of souls. All the Espada are in hell. Same for Unohana, who was killed by Zanbakuto and Zanbakuto as well. So it doesn't kill you. So I mean, it sounds like you're using some pseudo method around dying. I'm sorry, Red. If they die and a Zanbakuto is used, whether you want to say they get sent to hell or not, they're not on Earth, bro. They die. Like, you can say, oh, balance of souls, that doesn't really kill you. They get sent to hell. Okay, they're not on Earth anymore. GG. BFR, you're gone. You die. I don't glaze Sakura for this, and I do the same with Urahime. Like, when you say you don't glaze Sakura for this, that's good because no one should. But when you say you do the same for Urahime, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? She never tried. She's a pacifist. If she had killing intent, her Kotenzashun would have the highest AP in the verse. There's nothing to support that currently. There is. Uryu literally states she lacks the killing intent to use Tsubaki effectively. That's true. And then your mind state for Bleach is going to heavily impact how you fight and your AP overall. But all right, let's get this. So here comes the arm. Wow. How about this? Combining Kamui's power into Shuriken. We have no idea where he got this Shuriken. They seem to be just a byproduct of getting the jutsu. Kamui Shuriken. So here's the thing. Toshiro is going to freeze everything leading from the Shuriken up until who threw them. He will extend his hand and flash freeze all of this shit. But the Kamui Shuriken do work on that. Just as I thought, gaining 6 pass power enhances one ocular jutsu, ocular powers too. Obito Sharingan, but why does Master Kakashi have them? That's more than awesome than your Sasuke. but this chakra is... So yeah, they fall to the ground. They turn into an expansive ETSO. I definitely can't teleport away such a giant object with the Kamui, and even if we escape into the other dimension. So here's the option, Kakashi. Why not just Kamui Kaguya? Can anyone in the chat tell me why Kakashi does not Kamui Kaguya? Could the answer be she's too fast for it? Or could the answer be Kakashi does not consistently use Kamui offensively? This will all be taken in consideration when I make the video. You say you don't come back, but the series says otherwise, gang. LOL. I mean, you go to hell. Like, we'll see you again in hell. Yeah, like, what do you mean they'll come back, bro? Souls aren't coming back. They're staying dead. Kribo should thank me. I help him out too much. I'm gonna let him joke me next time, fam. Hey yo. Yeah, nah, Red. You be opping, bro. I don't know why. Also, it's consistently stated that Urahime Shinshu Rika does not operate like normal ability within Bleach. I interpret the Kamui Shuriken as solidified spatial manipulation. Is it even possible to free something that isn't energy or mass? So you think they have the property of ripping through... You said solidified spatial manipulation. So that sounds like they would move through space indefinitely. Fucking bitch. So yeah, it sounds like you're saying the Kamui Shuriken would move through space. Well, no, that wouldn't make sense, because if it's solidified spatial manipulation, when would they know to stop and hit the thing they're supposed to hit? That would be my question. Like, if the Shuriken already have the property of the Kamui, which is to phase through things, when would they know when to stop? Unless you're arguing Kakashi stops them himself, but there's nothing really suggests he's stopping them himself. And then, what would be the point of actually throwing them? Why make them travel through space if you have a Kamui that you can just use to distort space around something? Let's go back to it. Yeah, I don't know, man. These things make physical contact first, and then distortion happens. It's not even like they're distorting the air as they're going through the air, which we would expect to see if it were traveling. Like, you know how in the video game for Storm, when Obito was using Kamui, he would like kind of phase. We don't even see that, but I know that's a video game, so you know. So using Tsubaki effectively somehow equates hurting soaking Yuha. Ab-Stract, by the way, what do you think of Yukio being able to create a cage that completely nullified Urahime Shinshu Rika? Yukio has some of the craziest feats and nobody talks about. Yeah, no, that's crazy. In fact, Yukio and Riruka's ability is crazy within itself. Let me turn the air on. It's hot as shit in here. Yeah, Yukio's dimensional abilities and Riruka's are crazy. I haven't reread the full Bring arc in a while, but I think I'll do that. Well, no, I'll be reading the series on the channel soon, so I don't gotta actually do that. Bro, he using different Kamui jutsu to harm her. He doesn't have to look at her and try to use it in this situation. So if you're adding DMS Kakashi in this battle, he can use Kamui Lightning Blade. Oh, no, of course. We're going to give him Kamui Shuriken. We're going to give him Kamui Lightning Blade. My thing is this, though. Oh, what's good, Sean Lloyd? So we're talking about Toshiro versus Kakashi. We're talking about Toshiro versus Kakashi. In particularly, Perfect Susanoo Dual Mangekyo Sharingan Kakashi versus Adult Toshiro. Nigga said SHM, I'm going, laugh my ass off. I guess it disperses on contact within the target. My guess would be that they are launched faster than Kamui, normally given how he scales speed-wise to it. They blow up where Kakashi looks, but it's fair. That's an interesting thing to say. My guess would be that they are launched faster than Kamui. I don't know if I would do that. Launched faster than Kamui. So throwing the shuriken. See, no. If you're saying this to argue why he doesn't just use Kamui, I honestly do believe the answer is Kakashi does not use Kamui offensively, as in the throw Kamui that he does. So here's the thing. All right, cool. So let's see. She does her Ashbones. She shoots them. Kakashi calls them fast. And this is what I'm talking about. This is the difference between AP and DC. Difference between AP and DC. If she had used like a wide AoE attack, I highly doubt it would have did much damage to his Susanoo. But this is pinpointed, focused. This is a pinpointed, focused attack that clearly breaks through his Susanoo. And here we have the Lightning Blade Rakiri. It really is a nifty ability, Obito, to be able to pass through things. And now I can resurrect this move too. Oh, you know what? Hold up. You know what? The actual fucking... The anime made this a lot more... The anime made this a lot different. I haven't read this in a while, but okay. So they're not actually going at one another and one gets blitzed, it looks like. So Black Zetsu is confused. So it doesn't go through him. So is this a sneak attack then? Black Zetsu's confused. Kakashi's using Lightning Blade Raikiri. Kakashi's using Raikiri Kamui. Kaguya is surprised and confused. See, on the surface, this would look like a blitz. But it doesn't look like Kaguya is even ready for this. It doesn't look like she's ready for this. This is really weird. And they show it a lot differently on the actual anime. But okay, so we get to hear she opens a portal and he chooses to use Kamui on the portal and not her fucking head. Chooses to use it on the portal and not her one good arm. Oh, I'm sorry, she has both arms back now. Not a good arm in general. I get it. It disperses on contact within the target. My guess... Oh, yeah, I already read that. Shakes my head, I'm going, yeah. Okay, cool. Can't Bleach characters just Soul Crush or would Kamui neg? No, yeah, so me personally, I don't argue Soul Crush GG. They definitely could, right? But I don't argue that. I don't think it'd be a productive conversation to default to that. I don't think it's fun to do that. And no, Kamui wouldn't just neg. It's a much more complex fight than that. So while Kakashi does have the dual Mangekyo Sharingan, he can only fly within his Susanoo. Here's the issue. Kakashi's Susanoo, maybe I'm going to save it for the video, actually. I don't even want to get into it. Yeah, I don't even want to get into it because it'll be a fun breakdown. I don't want to get into it too much. But no, it's not so simple as Soul Crush GG Kamui neg. It's not that simple. There's a few things we'd have to talk about and go over. But what I'm proving right now, or what I'm talking about right now, is up until Kakashi Or no, since Kakashi has used Kamui on Deidara, he never really ever goes for an offensive Kamui on any human combatant. Not a single one. Doesn't use it on Pain. Doesn't use it on Obito, Jubido, Jubidara, or Kaguya. Doesn't use it on any. Doesn't use it on Kakuzu. Now, if you're asking me, the reason is because Kamui can be blitzed. We've actually seen this. Deidara was the first one to actually dodge Kamui. When Kakashi was trying to focus on his head, he literally moved his bird out of the way. So, this is going to be a big talking point once we finally get to the final stages of their battle. So what I'll do is I'll end it here, and then I'll start by reanalyzing this whole thing, and then we can look at Toshiro and his performance against Gerard and make a comparative analysis between how both of their final forms interact. But alright, y'all. Definitely a fun stream. Hopefully I wasn't lagging too much. All these fucking ads popping up on my shit for no reason. Excuse the language too, by the way, guys. I'm kind of frustrated at all these goddamn bugs. Ab-Stract, since Orihime's will to defend Ichigo allowed Santen Keshin stop Yuha's attacks, if she had the intent to kill, her Koten Sushin would kill him. If she had the intent to kill, I think she could injure him. I don't know if it would kill him. If she had the intent to kill, I think it would injure him. I don't know if it would kill him. I think Susanoo projectiles are supposed to be fast. The nature of this Susanoo is supposedly a fast and strong avatar, and Kakashi never attacked with his Susanoo physically beyond his projectiles. I can agree to that, yeah. With the exception of, like... God damn, bro. With the exception of Itachi's, who uses a sword, I think I can agree to that, yeah. Like Sasuke's bow and arrow is supposed to be fast. His Kamui Shuriken is fast. Yeah, I think I can agree to that. Fucking bugs, bro. Lord, we would like to make debates fun. Sean Lloyd, we like to make debates fun. Bleach characters have too many win cons against Naruto characters, so we need to do all sorts of nerfs to let them fight. Fair. Didn't he try and use it on the Ten Tails? His Kamui? No. Not to my knowledge. The biggest thing he used his Kamui on was the Eight Tails, but that was like a support attack. It wasn't like an offensive attack. Realistically speaking, Kakashi wouldn't even have the capacity to see... Oh, yeah. To see Kakashi? We letting him see Toshiro. That's a buff to Kakashi. It is. Because... people will tell you that, oh, Naruto characters can see souls. Look, they can see the Edo Tensei. But we have to actually, if we're going to be honest about these things, no. Every time a Naruto character dies, they don't see the soul of the person dying. They don't see their soul float up. The only time that did actually ever happen was with Asuma, and that is a complete outlier because it was an emotional moment, impactful for the story, not something that every character is doing on a daily, right? So the only time we actually see that they see souls is when their souls are being impacted by some form of ninjutsu. This is very specific, right? So when the Edos are called back and then the contract is rescinded, yes, you can see their physical souls leaving this plane. When Naruto is having his soul pulled out of him by Pain, yes, you can see his physical soul. Once again, these are all ninjutsu interactions though. When the third Hokage summons the Reaper, Orochimaru can't see the Reaper until the Reaper is interacting with his soul. So again, yeah, you can't really see souls in Naruto. It's not the everyday norm for you to see a soul. It just doesn't happen. When Don Kato is doing his spirit transformation jutsu, they can see his soul. But again, that is a jutsu manipulating souls. So can they see souls? Yes, when souls are being manipulated by a jutsu. Do they have the actual innate ability to see souls actually? No, they do not. That's a lie. It doesn't happen. Now, I'm pretty sure he tried to tear its head off, but Obito stopped him or something. I'm going to have to look. You're talking about the ghetto statue. So here's the thing. When I'm saying he's not using it offensively, He's not using it on combatants that he thinks it would actually work on, right? The Ghetto statue is a giant, huge statue that doesn't have a mind of its own. That's not going to run if Kamui is being used on it, right? As we can see, it sits there when Kamui starts to be used on it. So he can use it on something like that, but an Obito, a Jubito, a Madara, a Jubidara, a Kaguya, something that is faster than him, something that can move out the way, he's not going to use it on them. Pain, he didn't use it on Pain at all. Kakuzu, he didn't use it on Kakuzu at all. So when we talk about being accurate and consistent, he consistently doesn't use that technique on people of his level or higher. That's just consistent. Him using it on the Ghetto statue, I would even factor that in. I would not even factor that in. Like, will he use it on a big enough target? Like, would he use it on Gerard? Sure, absolutely. Would Gerard be able to dodge it? Abso-fucking-lutely. Why? Because Gerard can box with Kenpachi. As big as he is, he can box with Kenpachi. So, yeah. But nice to have you, Sean Lord. I don't know if I've seen you before in this chat, Sean Lord. But your name looks familiar. I might have seen you in some other places, though. I believe you're talking about the Ghetto Mazu. Yes, Kuribo. The only characters shown to see souls are either Otsutsuki, have Otsutsuki Dojutsu, or perfect sages. One smart, yeah, true. He mostly uses it defensively. Yeah, he either uses it defensively or as a support. Now back to what Mugetsu said. The most people that shown the souls are Otsutsuki. See, but even the Otsutsuki are special, per se. Because I believe it's part of their jutsu to be able to do that in the first place. I don't even believe they can do that naturally. Like, when Jigen was dying and he got to go say goodbye to Code, I believe that was a special case for him. I don't believe that's a special case for everybody. Just kind of like how Momoshiki was able to transplant his karma into Boruto before he died. These are all special cases. In involving jutsu, again. Well, Jigen didn't technically involve a jutsu, but I do believe it ties into being an Otsutsuki. Then you said, have Otsutsuki Dojutsu. Did Ada see his soul too? I don't remember. She might have. Or perfect sages. I don't know if perfect sages can see souls. I've never seen that. They might be able to. I don't know though. Yeah, I'm new here. Gotcha, man. Gotcha. All good. Nice to have you here. But yeah, all right, guys. Yeah, fun stream. We will not be back probably until next week. Like I said, I'm studying for my Security Plus, so I'm going to be hitting the books really hard this whole week. But yeah, look forward to the video. It's going to be really fun. Can't wait to talk about it. You guys take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your night. I've kept you all up late enough. You got work in the morning. I don't know why you're sitting here watching me on YouTube. You know you got work in the morning. Let's be responsible. Let's be grown adults. I got work in the morning. I got to drive 45 minutes to work tomorrow. I don't know how I'm going to do that. It's already like 11 o'clock. Ugh. All right, let me respond to this, though. Yeah, Trip, only help out Karibo because I got to teach my mans how to squabble. He stay losing when y'all points have a lot of flaws. Also, you can leave... Hell, you can leave Hell Dimension because Zyle did it. So just Dimension hop if you can. Yeah, so the problem that you're going to run into, Red, especially in One Piece, is none of you guys can actually Dimension hop. Well, actually, no. Bluno can because he has the Door fruit. So he technically should be able to. But we haven't seen him hop dimensions. But he should be able to. The girl that has the mirror fruit, if there is a mirror in Hell, she should be able to go to another dimension too. But it's not really an innate ability for you guys, so I wouldn't lean on that as your crutch, per se. But alright, you fools, take it easy. Check the censorship DMs I sent. I got you, Moo. And I'm going to send you the Discord link too.